right around the North Avenue curve up to just before Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 42 degrees. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a high of 51. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Milwaukee Common Council giving their seal of approval to Mayor Cavalier Johnson's $2 billion 2024 budget, the first in many years to boost services rather than focus on cuts. The budget calls for increases in police and fire department staffing. An amendment taken up by the council today adds Sunday library hours, funds more street repairs, launches a preventative lead abatement program, and opens 2 more early voting locations. In its analysis of Johnson's budget proposal, the nonpartisan Wisconsin Policy Forum found that tight budgets could reemerge as soon as 2025 when federal pandemic aid runs out.
An auto plant in Milwaukee that has been the scene of UAW strikes is now set to close.
The Stellantis facility in Milwaukee is going to shut down sometime next year, according to the Milwaukee Business Journal. About 100 United Auto Workers jobs in Milwaukee will be transferred to Illinois, where a new mega hub parts distribution center will be built in Belvidere. That's going to replace facilities in Milwaukee, Chicago, and Marysville, Michigan. The Business Journal reports that's part of the new contract signed in late October between the UAW and Stellantis, which is the manufacturer of Jeep, Chrysler, and Ram vehicles. Wyatt Barmar-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Work continues to reestablish an early voting location in Milwaukee's Midtown area, and the answer might lie just down the street.
The current early voting site in the Midtown Center is likely to close due to difficulty negotiating a new lease with the building's Atlanta-based ownership group. Now, moving the voting center to a new site at a former bank just down Capitol Drive is being explored. In a statement, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson said the site is the best alternative to the current location. Milwaukee Elections Commission Executive Director Claire Woodall expects a lease to be prepared for Common Council approval by the end of the month. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Well, you might have tough luck bagging a buck this year. The state DNR anticipates a lower harvest during the gun deer hunting season, thanks in part to a lack of snow cover that makes it easier to track the animals. The DNR's Jeff Pritzel tells WISC-TV.
We had really great conditions in 2022. And although the tendency is always to kind of compare what we do this year to last year and then grade it as better or worse, I'd be surprised if we match last year's harvest numbers.
This year's gun deer season begins November 18th.
Light at the end of the freeway on the Zoo Interchange construction project.
Once this job is done, we'll have 4 lanes all the way up to Burleigh, and the congestion that everybody sees kind of coming out of the zoo, our hope is that it's all going to go away.
Sean Race with the Wisconsin Department of Transportation says commuters on 41 North should have smooth sailing when construction of the new traffic corridor is completed. Even with more lanes open, Race says drivers still need to watch out for barrels for a while.
We'll open up all the lanes coming this Monday, but we're still going to have barrels out there for a couple of weeks. Any project of this size, it just takes a while to get all the finishing touches wrapped up.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
And the Bucks are back on the home floor tonight, taking on the Knicks. Coverage gets underway at 6 o'clock on WTMJ. Badgers football team visits Indiana Saturday morning for an 11 o'clock kick. And Packers head coach Matt LaFleur welcomes in brother Mike and the Los Angeles Rams Sunday for a noon kick at Lambeau. Mike LaFleur is the offensive coordinator in Los Angeles.
Citing unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:05.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 8 to 16.5 ounce selected varieties Hostess multi-packs, 2 for $6. 9 to 12 ounce or 10 to 12 count selected varieties Starbucks K-Cups or coffee, $9.99. 19.5 to 34 ounce selected varieties Sara Lee pies, $5.99. 32 ounce selected varieties International Delight coffee creamers, 2 for $7.
Let's see, spices, cardamom, hibiscus powder. It's like looking at Green Bay's roster right now. I don't recognize it, but I'll learn to love it.
Attention Century shoppers. You're going to love this opportunity. Win 2 tickets to see Green Bay play Kansas City on December 3rd, autographed Packers footballs, or 4 packs of Hall of Fame tickets.
I'd love to see Green Bay's new QB in action and win those tickets. What do I do?
Find the weekly code on Century's Facebook or Instagram and enter to win.
Love it. Getting the Century code on Insta right now.
Ends November 14th.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Brett Kitchen, best-selling author and star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollars saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, The Baby Boomer Dilemma, at 800-648-0303. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you'll get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call right now, 1-800-648-0303. That's 1-800-648-0303, 1-800-648-0303.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Excel Concrete Coatings, the local family company that transformed my garage. The floor was cracked and uneven. Excel fixed it, topped it with a beautiful multicolored surface. Garage floor, pool deck, basement, outdoor patio. If it's concrete, they'll coat it. Get a free estimate. You'll be surprised how affordable. Most projects between $1,500 and just $3,000. Look up Greg and Luann at excelconcretecoatings.com. Tell them Vinny sent you. excelconcretecoatings.com.
We asked people why they sold their homes to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
We needed to sell Mom's home quickly and with a company we could rely on.
No showings, no closing costs, no staging, no real estate agent fees, no added stress.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Hey, Sandy Max here. Have you heard about my friends at Three Pillars? They're located on 300 gorgeous nature-soaked acres in Dousman, with over 10 miles of walking and biking trails crisscrossing the Bark River. This serene setting is also home to Wisconsin's top-rated continuing care retirement community. Continuing care means every facet: independent living, assisted living, skilled nursing, and rehab. So whatever you need, Three Pillars is the best, and you deserve the best in your retirement. Learn more at threepillars.org.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
All right, hope you're having a great Friday. It is Friday. The weekend is upon us. It's going to get a little bit warmer each day. It's all good. We're going to get near average highs after freezing our behinds off on Halloween.
Man,
so it's
it
going to
looks
be kind of
good.
nice.
It looks good this weekend and early next week. Man, I'm digging it.
Looks pretty good.
Bring it.
Nice fall. We're into November. All right, we're also into the stories that we are tracking today. Let's get to it.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's afternoon news.
All right, Greg, where do we start?
Well, Veterans Day is next week, John. The 2023 Wisconsin Veterans Day Celebration Parade, however, steps off at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning in Milwaukee.
I don't quite understand this. Veterans Day is on a Saturday this year, and they're doing the parade a week earlier on the Saturday.
Well, better to be early than late.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley is on this story, and he is with us this afternoon. Hey, Wyatt. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley is on this story, but he is not with us this afternoon.
Clearly emotional about the decision to have it 1 week early.
Yeah. I think we dropped the ball on that. I don't know. Was I supposed to tell Wyatt he was going to be on the show?
I think it was assumed. But it is a great parade. It is kind of parade season here as you dovetail into the holiday parade, which I think they are still doing. But Veterans Day sort of kicks it off. But a wonderful day. I know our school districts also celebrate this. Where our daughters go to school, they have you bring a veteran in if you know one.
Oh, that's cool.
You've got an honor flight coming up. So it's always a great time to celebrate our veterans and a little more focus on it in the month of November.
All right, what's next?
Well, a study shows that tobacco use among high school students is falling, but rising among another segment of kids.
Yep, so this is a good news, bad news story when it comes to e-cigarette use. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration found this. Amongst high school students, current use of any tobacco product declined from 16% to 12%. So still 12% of high schools are using a tobacco product, primarily driven by a decline in e-cigarette use. So e-cigarettes went from 14% of kids were using e-cigarettes, now 10%. So still 10% using e-cigarettes, but it's declining. And use of any combustible tobacco product, so cigars, e-cigarettes, cigarettes, is down amongst high school students. Now the other part of the story that you alluded to. Middle school students saw a significant increase during this past school year in at least one tobacco product. So now the number for middle school students is 6.6% of those kids use a tobacco product. 6.6% of middle school, and that is 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. Multiple tobacco products, 2.5% of our middle schoolers use multiple tobacco products, meaning they vape, they also smoke a cigarette, I don't know, maybe a pipe, whatever the kids are doing
Pouch
these
of
days.
some sort, yeah.
Yeah. So for the 10th year in a row, e-cigarettes have been the most commonly used tobacco product among both middle school and high school students. This is the statistic that really alarms me. Half of students who ever try an e-cigarette continue to use them and currently are. That's how addictive they are. Half of kids who have tried an e-cigarette in the past are still using it today. So don't start. It's a dangerous, addictive thing.
6th, 7th, 8th grade, you're talking about, 12, 13, 14 years old, going into high school perhaps.
That's so young.
Yeah.
All right, what's the third thing we're tracking today?
Well, the results are in, John, and if you are a vehicle owner, might want to listen up.
Top vehicles stolen in the state of Wisconsin. Here we go. These are vehicles that have been on the list in the past. These are the most stolen vehicles in the state of Wisconsin. By the way, vehicle theft up 7% in our state. The Hyundai Elantra is the number one stolen vehicle. The Hyundai Sonata, number 2. Then here come the Kia boys. Kia Sportage is number 3. Kia Soul is number 4. Kia Forte, number 5. Kia Optima, number 6. Back to Hyundai. The Hyundai Tucson is number 7. Honda Civic is number 8. The full-size Chevy pickup, the Silverado, is number 9. And Honda Accords are number 10. So this is really stunning but not surprising. The top 7 most stolen cars in Wisconsin are all Hyundais or Kias.
So 5 years ago, the Honda Accord was the top on that list.
Yep.
And then things started happening with Hyundais and Kias to make them accessible to car thievery. And if you look at all the car thefts in Wisconsin, certainly a large concentration comes from Milwaukee. But I wonder how much of that extends to Green Bay, Madison, Appleton, the Fox Valley.
Yeah.
I always associate it more so with Milwaukee than any other city.
So quickly, Greg, the most stolen cars in the United States, the list is a little different.
Pickup trucks are usually near the top
number
of that
one,
list.
That Chevy Silverado is number 1 in the country.
Interesting.
Number 2 is the Ford F-150. Good call. So the pickup trucks are 1 and 2 nationwide. Number 3 is that Honda Civic. Number 4 is the Honda Accord. It's not till number 5 that you get a Hyundai Sonata in there. The Kia crap that we talk about, the Kia boys, that's a Milwaukee thing. That originated and started, unfortunately, in Milwaukee. That TikTok viral thing is Milwaukee. That's why Wisconsin's so high when it comes to Kias. 3:14 at WTMJ. We switch gears up next. Been waiting to have this discussion with you. Craig Counsell, what is his future? Who is he interviewing with? How much cash will it take to keep him? And is it important we keep him? Do we put a bucket of cash in front of Craig Counsell, or do we try to get another middle reliever or utility infielder? That is the discussion up next on WTMJ. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Join me as we count down to the RNC in Milwaukee. We'll talk to the biggest names across the political landscape. Mark Cassie's the editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Every national outlet in terms of the media is going to have a key spot around the arena. So they're going to be working on that over the next couple months.
Full podcast available on WTMJ.com or text RNC to the Old National Bank talk and text line 855-616-1620 and get a link sent directly to you. It's the countdown to the RNC podcast, only here on WTMJ. Happy Fish Fry Friday. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Mineshaft's Fish Fry. Listen to this. The Mineshaft has lowered the price on their Wednesday and Friday fish fry. The cod is all you can eat, just $9.99. Now check this out. The shrimp, the perch, they got very good perch, and the poor man's lobster are all $9.99 and all you can eat. Don't pay $16 to $20 for a fish fry. It's $9.99 at the Mine Shaft. And desserts are always buy one, get one free. Your kids can safely play in that $5 million massive game room quietly tucked away from the dining area. The Mine Shaft is super family friendly. The Saturday prime rib dinner is under $25, and the Sunday brunch under $15. Now that's value. The super affordable Mine Shaft in downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh. Plenty of seating, lots of close parking, serving families like yours for over 46 years. Reserve your table for the all-you-can-eat fish fry today, under $10. That fabulous Sunday brunch, got to check that out. MineShaftRestaurant.com.
Don't think twice. Call Dice. Garage door broke. Do it right. Don't think twice. Call Dice.
great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new CHI maintenance-free garage door. In fact, a recent study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%, ranking number 1 among all home improvement projects. To see our huge selection of doors, come visit us at our Brookfield location or view our online showroom at GuysDoors.com. We have everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, call Geis at 262-784-4250 or visit us online at GuysDoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Traffic and weather sponsored by Roto-Rooter, the sewer and drain experts you've trusted for over 85 years.
The experts at Roto-Rooter unclog bathtubs, laundry tubs, kitchen sinks, or any plug drain.
Go Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Schedule online or use the Roto-Rooter mobile app.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Hey there, John. Still dealing with this big delay happening. It was an accident that happened just east of Barker Road. Looks like the accident itself has been cleared, but the delays have not. We got backups all the way back to Highway F to that point. The westbound side, everybody's slowing down from about Moreland Road out to the accident scene, so give yourself tons of extra time. Other than that, southbound on 41 going to be slow from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Southbound on 43 from Bender Road all the way down to just about North Avenue, with the northbound side also backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue up past Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 42. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a high of 51. On Sunday, sun-cloud mix, a high of 54. On Monday, chance for showers, a high of 63. And on Tuesday, mostly cloudy, a high of 53 degrees. All right, let's get into this. Craig Counsell, the Craig Counsell situation. He's kind of on a free agency tour. He's been doing interviews. There are reports that he has actually formally interviewed now in New York and in Cleveland. There are reports out today that the Astros are still interested, but they're kind of slow walking their search. And now I read today that the Los Angeles Angels may be interested in Craig Counsell. All this while the Brewers are still very interested and the Brewers are still very much in the running for his services. Don't write the Brewers off yet. Don't sleep on the Brewers. They're going to let this play out likely. He's going to probably bring an offer from the Mets and maybe others to the Brewers, and then Mark Antanasio, Matt Arnold, and the team over there is going to have to decide whether they make a counteroffer, whether they want to jump into this and make him probably the highest paid manager in the league, and what happens from here. He said, Craig Counsell has, that he said through sources that he's not compelled to take a hometown discount. That's what's out there. Greg, you've talked a lot about how he will set the market for other managers, and that's something that does matter to him. He is believed to be seeking at least double his previous salary, which was $3.5 million. It was already in the upper echelon, not at the very top, but it was up there. He's reportedly wanting to double that. The Brewers, according to reporting in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, extended Craig Counsell a formal offer following the team's season, and he said that he wanted to see what else was out there. Smart, makes sense. So he's been out there looking around, and the Journal-Sentinel also reporting that a decision is likely to be made on his future before the manager meetings, which run November 7th through 9th. I looked at the Brewers roster today, trying to get a handle for who makes how much money. Craig Counsell will make, let's just go with the number $7 million, double what he makes now. That would be more money than Freddie Peralta, more money than Colin Ray, more money than Devin Williams, more money than Adrian Hauser, just to stick with some pitchers. Is Craig Counsell worth $7 or $8 million and becoming the highest paid manager in the game? 855-616-1620. That's the talk and text line. 855-616-1620. You're very close to this story, Greg. When you think about the Craig Counsell situation with the background I've just given you, what comes to mind?
So let me put some more historical perspective around it. There was a recent article written by Bob Nightingale, who covers baseball, has done it for decades for USA Today. And the title of the article is Just an Embarrassment. Major League Baseball managers are grossly underpaid. And we've talked about this, John. When it comes to players, we always know the contract terms. We always know. When it comes to managers, we don't as much. Not every team is exclusive in withholding that information, but most teams are. Many are. The Brewers historically have been. But it has, throughout the last several months or so come out that Craig made about $3.25–3.5 million last year. Let's put it into perspective. Dave Roberts, the winningest manager in Dodgers history, made $3.25 million this last season. Brian Snitker, who won the World Series, managing the Braves in 2021, his salary that season, $1.2 million. There are 6 managers who last year earned less than $1 million, and 15 managers earning $1.75 million or less. Keep in mind, Major League Baseball had a record year, $10.8 billion in revenue last season. Manager salaries have plummeted by 50%.
They've actually gone down.
According to agents who represent managers.
Wow.
Now, some of that is new managers coming into the league who will just grab anything. Like, I want to be part of the club, and they have to work their way up. Brian Snitker, when he started with Atlanta, was making about $800,000. I have no idea what Craig Counsell started at in Milwaukee, but he rose to about $3.25–3.5 million. So when you talk about setting the market, everybody in baseball who is a manager or an aspiring manager is cheering Craig Counsell on from the stand, saying, go get it, man. You are going to help us. You are going to redefine what managers, high-quality managers, can make in Major League Baseball. And it is meaningful to him. I know that. Also, nobody knows the business dealings of the Milwaukee Brewers better than the guy in New York who's trying to hire Craig Counsell. Right? So it really is, to me, a Mets or Brewers decision for Craig Counsell. But if the Brewers want one of the best managers in the league, in the game, and the best manager in franchise history, they're going to have to pay him, as you mentioned, north of what they're paying or could pay Devin Williams next season. And I think he is worth every single penny.
I think it's going to be very interesting if the Mets offer him $7 million and the Brewers counter at $7 million. It's clear that his heart is here. His family is literally here. He grew up in this community. He has love for Milwaukee and an affinity for the team. There's no doubt about any of that. Does he have a better chance to win his first World Series as a manager if he's in Cleveland or he's in New York? Does he have a better chance, does he feel, to win a World Series if he's with his guy David Stearns, who now has the checkbook and knows what he's doing, versus the former Mets guy who didn't? Does he have a better chance to grab a ring if he's with Stearns and the checkbook in New York than if he stays here, where a guy like Christian Yelich is a third of the payroll? You have $24 million next year tied up in Christian Yelich. He's a third of the payroll. And even with a better year this year than the previous two, that hamstrings the Brewers. That's a third of their payroll.
So now you add a $7 million salary to that with Craig Counsell.
Right.
Now, keep this in mind. There is no salary cap in baseball. Right? So you are able to spend, as a baseball team, whatever your ownership decides you're allowed to spend based upon team revenue and so on. That's why the Mets payroll is, $200 million more than the Brewers, which is just insane. It's out of whack.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always translate to wins.
It didn't with the Mets.
Brewers have more wins than the Mets recently. They have more wins than Cleveland recently.
But here's the difference now. The Mets have David Stearns. That is a game changer, in my opinion.
Long term, for sure.
That's not just Craig Counsell's going to get offered $7 or $8 million by the Mets. It's Craig Counsell's going to get offered $7 or $8 million by the Mets, who have David Stearns, who he trusts and who he works with and who he's built with and who he's sat and had coffee with day after day after day. He knows David Stearns, and I think that can't be underestimated. We all hope the 53-year-old skipper comes back to Milwaukee. I would agree with you. He's worth every penny. If he makes more than those 5 guys that I named off, he's worth more than those 5 guys. Is he worth more than Corbin Burns? He's not. But he's not going to get paid more than Corbin Burns. I think he's worth 7, 8. I think he can pick the number. I'd pay the guy $10 million a year to keep him here.
Here's some more perspective. I talked through the managers and what they're making. What was the number here? I said 6 managers earning less than $1 million this year. If I look at the top 10 college managers, they're earning $1.2 million or more. College.
Wow.
Okay? This is not going over well in Major League Baseball. Not at all.
Understandably.
And you also understand why managers are moving to college, right? Or bench coaches or whatever it may be. They're seeking an opportunity there for financial security. So here's the managers. Here are the list of managers who are scheduled to make at least $3 million next season. Padres manager Bob Melvin, he'll be in the $4 million range. Bruce Bochy, Dave Martinez, Dave Roberts, and Alex Cora. You're going to add Counsell to that list. He's going to get it regardless of where he manages. But that's kind of a who's who of managers in the league. And Craig Counsell would blow those numbers out of the water. But again, he's trying to do more than just seek a fair wage for his services. He's trying to do a lot more.
All right, so we want you to weigh in. Be part of the conversation. Is he worth the money? 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. Is Craig Counsell worth the money? Should we be right now locking him down, saying it doesn't matter what the Mets are doing, we're going to pay our guy? 855-616-1620. Give us a call, send us a text. We'd love a phone call or two. Dennis, hang on. We're going to get to you after the news. Please stick through the news. We'd like you to be part of the conversation. Is Craig Counsell worth it? It's 3:26 at WTMJ. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Stocks jumping today to cap a winning week. The S&P up 41 points. The Dow is up 224 to cross 34,000. And the NASDAQ up 184 on the day. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Do you cringe when you look at your high school pictures? So much has changed. From your hair, today you might not have any, or maybe it's a completely different color. How about the innocence of your smile? We grow up and learn the world is bigger than we thought. It's the same with your money. Your views of wealth, legacy, and taxes have all grown up. Has your financial plan? At Annex Wealth Management, our team of tax experts can help you understand how your plan could improve. The Annex team will show you strategies that could help safeguard your wealth. And because we're fee-only fiduciaries, you won't have to put up with high-pressure sales or advice that isn't in your best interest. As you accumulate more wealth, there's a chance your tax pictures become more complex. The Annex Tax Smart Strategy Review will give you insights on your current tax plan and help build a framework to prioritize tax strategies. Take a proactive approach. Get an Annex Wealth Management Tax Smart Strategy Review. Visit annexwealth.com/taxsmart.
Right now, I'm driving to work, but that's not where I'm going. I'm going to more important things. I'm going to visit Papa. I'm going to go out with friends and to an anniversary dinner. And I look out at the big trucks and buses and people walking and think, we're all going somewhere. And we need to work together to share the road and get there safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
Paid for by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Small business owners can make a little of anything go a long way.
It's true. My bakery is made up of a little sugar, spice, and edible glitter.
Well, that's why U.S. Cellular is offering small businesses lines for as little as $19.99, plus $300 off any phone.
That's great. A little does go a long way. Unless we're talking sprinkles, everyone always needs more sprinkles.
Oh, of course. Get lines for $19.99 plus $300 off any phone today. U.S. Cellular. Built for business. Built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Get ready, Wisconsin. It's Medicare annual enrollment period, so why not make enrolling easier with United Healthcare? Whether you choose our online tools or over-the-phone support, United Healthcare will help you compare options so you can choose a plan with confidence. This is Medicare made for Wisconsin. Trusted everywhere. Explore our wide range of plans by calling United Healthcare today at 1-855-MEET-UHC. That's 1-855-MEET-UHC. Annual enrollment begins October 15th and ends December 7th, so call today.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Be our eyes on the roads. Report incidents to the WTMJ HallMazdaMilwaukee.com traffic tip line 414-238-9329. Visit Hall Mazda during Mazda's season of inspiration. Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley. Your top story, budget backed.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Definite improvements on the road. Still a little bit tight, though. Highway 16 to the Zoo is going to be a 15-minute ride, so an extra 4. And then a little bit of a tap of the brakes between 84th Street and the Stadium interchange with another 9 minutes total from the zoo into downtown. Southbound 43, definitely heavy ride from Good Hope Road all the way down past Locust, back on the brakes right through the Marquette interchange. And the northbound side's going to be slow right around the North Avenue curve all the way up towards Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, a low of 40. Tomorrow's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 53. It is 53 degrees right now in Milwaukee at 3:31. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Milwaukee Common Council giving their seal of approval to Mayor Cavalier Johnson's proposed nearly $2 billion budget for next year. That's the first budget in many years to boost services rather than focusing on cuts. The budget calls for increases in police and fire department staffing. An amendment taken up by the council also adding Sunday library hours, more street repairs, a preventative lead abatement loan program, and opening 2 more early voting locations. In its analysis of Johnson's budget proposal, the nonpartisan Wisconsin Policy Forum found that tight budgets could reemerge as soon as 2025 when federal pandemic aid will run out. The victims have been identified in an overnight crash on Milwaukee's north side that killed 3. Latasha Dyson and LaShonda Jackson were pronounced dead on the scene at Sherman and Florist. Ebony Johnson was driving the vehicle that they were all in as she died at the hospital after being ejected from the car. Milwaukee police say the driver of the striking vehicle disregarded a blinking stoplight where it was a blinking red light at the intersection. He fled on foot after the crash and is facing multiple charges and after being arrested. Daylight saving time ends this weekend. We drop back an hour overnight Saturday into Sunday.
Heart attacks spike, traffic accidents spike.
Dr. Jennifer Evans, professor at Marquette University, telling Wisconsin's Morning News, even gaining an hour of sleep, as we say, can still throw your body out of whack.
When you introduce a mismatch between your biological time and your social time, this has severe adverse consequences for our health.
Experts suggest most of us will adjust just fine after a few days. Vince Vitrano, WTMJ News.
New retail space in downtown Milwaukee with a new Kohl's store.
Store manager Amy Eastland breaks down why the store will thrive in downtown Milwaukee as opposed to a suburb.
There's no other competition within walking distance that sells clothes, that has Sephora, has home goods and things like that.
Eastland says the combination of Christmas time and the RNC make it a good time to be in business.
I think it's going to bring a lot of business with all of the hotels around here, all the conventions that happen, but definitely the RNC is going to bring a lot of business here.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
And the Bucks are taking on the Knicks at Fiserv Forum this evening at 6 p.m. That's when our coverage will start. You can hear all the Bucks action right here on WTMJ. Again, network coverage starting at 6 p.m. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:34.
Sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
Okay, I confess, I'm guilty. A jury of my peers would, no doubt, find me guilty of moving too fast, doing too much, and spending way too many days, hours, and minutes trying to get to the next big thing. And when I am only focused on I, me, and myself, I miss out on the special moments with her, him, them, and you. I'm guilty. And maybe you are too. And maybe right now is the time for all of us to slow down so that we can rest, recognize, and reflect on the good things in our lives. Our health, our jobs, our homes, security, sunshine, fresh air, food, running water, electricity, furnaces and air conditioners, neighbors, friends, and family. Oh, and bacon. We should definitely be thankful for bacon. The verdict is in. This year, may we all be found guilty of gratitude and sentenced to life. Happy Thanksgiving from Mr. Holland's Home Services.
Hey Packers fans, head into Fleet Farm this Saturday for our free Packers hat giveaway to the first 400 people who make purchases of $50 or more. And for those who just can't wait, check out even more Black Friday Now deals. Baronet's Radar Hunting Blind is on sale for only $89.99. Plus, get 50 pounds of Safe Step Rock Salt for just $4.99 a bag. Enjoy these Black Friday Now deals and more at Fleet Farm, home of everything you need for everyday life.
Hi, John McGivern here. Did you know Network Health has Medicare Advantage plans that give you $25 a month back towards your Medicare Part B premium? That's $300 a year back in your pocket. Isn't that great? Call 833-7-NETWORK to learn more today. Network Health Medicare Advantage plans include PPO plans with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Network Health Medicare Advantage plans depends on contract renewal. Certain restrictions apply to the Part B giveback. Visit networkhealth.com/Medicare/extra benefits for details.
When big national banks make a decision, it requires many emails, phone calls, and plenty of video conferences from around the globe. When we make a banking decision, we do it over a cup of coffee in our office. Finding a local bank that's passionate about the community and knows your name is hard to find these days.
Good morning, Diane. Welcome back.
The search is over.
Waterstone Bank, proud to be your local bank for over 100 years. Love your bank as much as we love this community. Waterstone Bank, Waukesha, Milwaukee, and Washington County.
Member FDIC.
Do the changing seasons have you dreaming of that perfect sun-kissed getaway? From the Caribbean and Mexico to Hawaii or Florida, Fox World Travel's expert travel advisors can recommend their favorite beach resorts with Apple Vacations or island-hopping cruises with Princess Cruises and Royal Caribbean. What are you waiting for? Don't miss out on the best savings of the season. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. There are memories to be made, and Fox has the expertise to get you there.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
All right, we're talking about Craig Counsell. We'd love for you to be part of the conversation. It's very easy. The Old National Bank talk and text line is 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. The number it seems like we're starting at for Craig Counsell is $7 million, and it could be more than that. That's double what he made this year. That's the reporting that's out there, and it's all source reporting, so we don't know. But the bottom line is Craig Counsell is going to get paid a lot of money to manage and probably be the highest paid manager in the game. Is it worth it in the Brewers situation to pay him that sort of money? 855-616-1620. That is the Old National Bank talk and text line. Please be part of the conversation.
I've always looked at Craig Counsell as a kind of manager who can get the most out of his players. So if you look at the current Brewers roster, who's making what, who's performing and exceeding expectations, I think the majority of Brewers on this playoff team, you could file into two categories: meeting expectations or exceeding expectations. There were some who didn't meet expectations very clearly. But I think that's kind of a common thing for Craig. You have more players who are meeting or exceeding expectations than those who are completely falling flat. In other words, if you talk about $1 million player, round numbers, Joel Payamps, pretty good reliever, made $1 million.
Yep.
I could say you got the most out of that player this year and put him into the eighth inning and didn't feel bad about it. So there's something to be said for how much you can get out of the team you have, because we know typically the Brewers have to operate in a different way than the Mets or Padres or Cubs.
They do. Is he worth it? You're going to be paying a guy more than Freddie Peralta makes, more than Devin Williams makes. 855-616-1620. Let's go to Dennis, who's in Milwaukee. Dennis, good afternoon. Thanks for holding on so long. What do you think?
Good afternoon, John and Greg. I definitely agree he's worth it. I think the name Bill Veeck means something to you two guys. For the benefit of your listeners, as Bill Veeck was a longtime executive in baseball. He owned the old minor league Milwaukee Brewers back in the 40s. And in the majors, he owned the Indians at one time, the old St. Louis Browns, and later the Chicago White Sox. I'll never forget something I read in one of his books. Bill maintained that a manager should not be judged on his strategic decisions. Beck maintained that you could take a sports writer who's been watching baseball for 30 to 35 years, and he or she could do a better job or as good a job as a manager. The real skill of a manager is managing 26 different personalities in the clubhouse. And what I've read and heard, that's where Craig really excels.
Hey, Dennis, thank you very much for the phone call. Very, very good point. Phil is in Stevens Point. Phil, good afternoon. You're on WTMJ.
Well, thank you for the call. I personally think, if he can and if he's not getting paid enough, go look for another job. That's what they tell you or I or anyone else if we go to our boss and want a pay raise.
That's what he's doing.
Simple as that.
That's what he's
And
doing.
I think they're overpaid. I think they're way overpaid, and we're the suckers for supporting it.
So this is how it works, not just in baseball, but in almost every profession, including the one that I'm in. You have a job, you get a better offer somewhere else, you can sometimes come to your bosses and say, look, they want me, I want you to pay me. So the question remains, should we pay Craig Counsell or is he not worth it?
I don't think he's worth it. None of them are worth it.
Hey, Phil, thank you for the phone call. I appreciate it.
Phil lives in this world where he believes Major League Baseball, the NFL, the NBA is real life. This is fantasy land, right? Can we all agree on that? That this is fantasy money. But you've got a $10.8 billion industry and managerial salaries have plummeted by 50%, and you think they're overpaid still? You have to pay attention to what the market is telling you about Major League Baseball, professional sports. This is a $1 billion industry, 10 times over.
So several texters are saying, Mark, let me get this right. Mark Attanasio wants us to pay for the stadium repairs, but he's going to pay for Craig Counsell. Apples and oranges there, that's not really a fair comparison. That's different buckets of money. The Brewers have in their lease that the stadium repairs are to be paid for by the stadium district. So I understand the sentiment and the frustration, but I think that's different money. A couple other texts here really quick that may work in another phone call or two. From the 414, are you guys out of your mind? $7, $8, $10 million? Anyone who can read a guide to Major League Baseball could manage this team.
Nope, incorrect. Try again. Next.
Pippa, South Carolina. Craig Counsell is worth it. But until there's revenue sharing in baseball, the Brewers can't afford him. Well, they can afford him, but she makes a very good point. You made it earlier. This is broken. This is a broken finance system.
There is revenue sharing in baseball, but it's not capped.
But there's no salary cap.
There's no cap. Like, that's the big difference. Bud Selig made sure there was revenue sharing in baseball. It's one of the great things he did for the game.
I love this topic because this is all over the board. From the 262, no money. It's time for a change. Get him out of there.
Oh, goodness.
The next text from the 262, Counsell is worth more than any player on that team. From the 262, if he can get us to the World Series, it would be worth it. But, of course, we won't know if it's worth it until next season. From the 414s, a small market team will never win a bidding war with a team like the Mets. Is he worth it? Yes. Can we compete with large markets, teams with deep pockets? No. Counsell's probably as good as gone. Let's work in another phone call. Ryan's in Oconomowoc. Ryan, good afternoon. You're on WTMJ.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. Yeah, we absolutely have to pay Craig Counsell. We can't afford to pay the players to put out there to win the World Series, so we need a manager who can squeeze every ounce out of those guys. And Craig's the guy, and he's proven it, and like this year we were close with a bunch of, if you look at that roster, nobody would have said that was a roster that could have gone very far, and I know we were out right away, but Craig's the guy that can bring us there.
Hey, thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it. Let's get to John. He's got a different perspective. John is with us from Oak Creek. Good afternoon, John.
Good afternoon.
What do you think?
Well, as I was telling your screener, how many World Series have the Brewers been in since Craig Counsell has been managing? Not a one.
How many times were in the playoffs before Craig Counsell was managing? Have you answered that question?
Playoffs don't give you a ring that says you won the World Series.
So it's black and white, all or nothing for you. It's just all or nothing. So he has not been a successful manager because he hasn't won the World Series?
No, but why pay him if he...
Was he successful? Has he been a successful manager in Milwaukee, or no, because he didn't win a World Series?
Well, 26 other managers could have been successful, too.
Hey, John, thank you for the phone call. Appreciate it. We will continue this discussion because we will stay on top of the Craig Counsell story. We'll let you know if there are any updates that could happen this weekend, as a matter of fact.
Be careful what you wish for, because you had years with Davey Lopes and Ken Maka, and it was a train wreck. An absolute train wreck.
I will ask you this, though. How much of this was Craig Counsell and how much was David Stearns, who's no longer here?
I think David Stearns knows exactly what he's doing.
I think
he's one of
it is too, but my question is,
man in baseball.
with him gone now, how hurt are the Brewers, even if they bring Counsell back? I think David Stearns is brilliant, and he's not here anymore.
I think Matt Arnold's a pretty good GM, too. And he was the GM in Stearns' final years in Milwaukee. And he put this team together more than David did. When you talk about some of the pieces in the William Contreras trade, I don't think there's a GM better equipped to handle the Brewers situation than Matt Arnold, who came from Tampa Bay and took that team to a World Series with a $43 million payroll.
345 at WTMJ. In case you missed it, up next.
Congratulations to our very own Jeff Wagner, retiring after 25 years on WTMJ.
No show lasts forever. I'm going to be retiring from WTMJ at the end of this year.
But he's not done yet.
Congrats early on your tournament.
Well, I'm around for another 2 months. Can't get rid of me before December 15th.
Keep tuning in And don't miss out on our send-off to the one and only Jeff Wagner. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Time to think dinner, right? If you're thinking dinner, it's time to think Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza made right in the state. In Milwaukee, as a matter of fact. Over 55 years, Palermo's has been doing it right, and they keep on innovating with Connie's and Urban Pie, the neighborhood pizzeria pizza, one of their newer varieties. Also, the Surfer Boy pizza. You might have seen this in the Netflix series Stranger Things. That's right. Now it's available wherever you like to shop. Walmart, Jewel, Festival Foods, Woodman's, Piggly Wiggly, Sendik's, even Cub Foods. Pick up a Surfer Boy pizza, gnarly toppings. You'll enjoy it. Surfer Boy, one of a number of high-quality pizzas made by Palermo's. Wherever you like to shop, you'll find it. It's Wisconsin's hometown pizza, Palermo's.
Have you been thinking about putting away your patio furniture? With By the Yard's maintenance-free outdoor furniture, you wouldn't have to. By the Yard builds furniture for year-round enjoyment. Their outdoor furniture boasts an impressive 35-year warranty, ensuring your investment lasts for decades to come. Head over to By the Yard's showroom at Mayfair Mall in Wauwatosa to check out their maintenance-free outdoor furniture firsthand. Or browse their online showroom at buytheyard.net. That's buytheyard.net. With By the Yard, life is better outdoors.
Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. I know the folks at Azura. Maybe you have somebody who's in memory care who has dementia or Alzheimer's and you don't quite like where they are. Just check out Azura. Just go to one of their places. They have 4 locations in the Milwaukee area. It's about compassion and empathy. The buildings are beautiful. The staff is loving. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Just do what I did. Go to one of their places and check it out. They've got 14 locations in the state. If you have loved ones that are up north or out west, Wisconsin-based, family-owned, compassion and empathy. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Traffic sponsored by Weniger Compressor, the Midwest air compressor experts. Visit pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor carries high-performance, top-of-the-line compressors. Many offer a lifetime warranty and 60-day return policy. Contact Weniger at pressureisoff.biz.
348 at WTMJ. Let's check in with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Hey there, John. Now we got a new accident. It is on 94 in Waukesha County on the off-ramp to Highway F from westbound 94. So be prepared for that. We've also got eastbound 94 backing up out of the Zubit interchange all the way through the stadium to about 27th Street. Westbound's going to be slow right through the stadium interchange. 894 southbound slowing down from National Avenue down and around the Hale interchange out past Forest Home. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Hey, Deb, I got a quick question for you. You can check maybe and you can let me know next time. I'm hearing from several people going to Honor Flight tomorrow, and the interstate's been closed overnight on a lot of Saturdays. So my question is, will the interstate 894 or 41 be closed overnight, like when we're trying to get to Honor Flight at 4 in the morning? So maybe you can...
Tonight into tomorrow?
Yeah. Yep, tonight into tomorrow.
Okay, let me look it up. I'll look it up for you.
Thanks, Deb. We'll let you know on that with Debbie in a couple of minutes here. The forecast, cloudy tonight, a low of 42. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a high of 51. On Sunday, a sun-cloud mix, a high of 54. On Monday, chance for rain, a high of 63. And on Tuesday, mostly cloudy, back to 53. Right now, it's cloudy and 52 degrees. All right, here we go on a Friday. We like to do this fun little segment. We dive into stories maybe you haven't heard a whole lot about. We call the segment...
In Case You Missed It.
All right, here we go. New York City. Oh. So a customer goes to his safety deposit box. It's in the Diamond District downtown. It's a facility that handles not just cash and stuff like that, but they handle a lot of gems, including diamonds. The guy goes in there, gets into his area where the deposit box is. It's near closing hours. And next thing you know, they lock up the store, they close the store, and he's locked in the vault. The vault locks automatically, slams shut behind him. He has a cell phone, so he calls 911, he calls security, they try to get somebody in there. The employees have already left for the day, and he ends up locked in the vault. Now, there's not diamonds sitting around. It's a bunch of, deposit boxes. So he's got his deposit box open, and he's locked in there. They eventually get a hold of employees who say, you know what? Safety and security, we can't even open the vault. It closes automatically from 8 o'clock at night till 6 in the morning, and no one can override it. So the guy is locked in the vault. Firefighters attempt to cut through a wall. They can't get through the wall. They can't get into the vault. The vault is apparently doing its job. They can communicate with the guy via security cameras and his phone. They determine that he will not run out of oxygen, and they say, sorry, dude, you're locked in the vault for 10 hours. My question is, where did he go to the bathroom? Yeah. This is pick a corner, right? This is designate a corner.
I probably, or like box 14 or whatever. Just pick a box, any box.
So New York, after 10 hours, the guy did get out, was not injured.
Only in New York.
Mm-hmm.
In case you missed it.
You big into breakfast, John?
Not really. Cereal.
Cereal guy. Are you? You're not an Eggo waffle guy?
Not really.
Maybe this will change your
Okay.
mind. Eggo has just launched a $150 robot vacuum cleaner that looks like a toasted waffle. And it really sucks. 70-year-old waffle brand has teamed up with vacuum maker Bissell to introduce a one-of-a-kind cleaning device. It's called the Eggo Vac. Put simply, the Eggo Vac is a Bissell spin wave cleaner, so a robot vacuum with a breakfast-inspired makeover. It's a round robot designed to look like a toasted Eggo waffle, all covered in butter and syrup, with the brand's iconic yellow and red iconography lining the edges. So you've got the standard Eggo font, you've got this buttery waffle, and spinning it your
look
way.
at that.
You've got a little pat of butter on it and some syrup.
That looks like a delicious Roomba.
I don't know why we need this, but we have it. It falls in line with other bizarre confluences of brands, like we had the Crocs and Hershey's.
Oh, that's right.
Where you could get Hershey's Charms on a pair of brown Crocs. Why are we doing this? Well, what is the point?
Because we can.
Well, maybe that is a good way to put it. Eggo has been making waves with its product collaborations of late. Frozen waffle brand has also turned heads. Back in August, they had their brunch in a jar liqueur. It was a 40-proof drink. That was a follow-up to last year's similarly boozy Eggo Nog.
I like it.
In case you missed it.
All right, this is a question for you, Greg. Your daughter is a master Rubik's Cube solver, am I right?
Correct. 43 seconds is her record. She's 8 years old.
That's amazing.
43 seconds. Amazing. Well, there is a new world record out there, and for this gentleman, he needed a little bit more of a challenge. The guy is from Singapore. He's 21 years old, and he has added to the feather in his cap of being able to solve a 3x3x3 Rubik's Cube completely submerged in a pool. 9.29 seconds, which isn't that big. That's not that long to hold your breath, if you think about it.
That's true.
That is accurate, but to do a Rubik's Cube.
If your daughter can get it down to a period of time where she can hold her breath while she does it, I bet she'd be able to do it next summer.
Well, we'll keep working with her. I love the idea.
Guinness Book of World Records right there.
This also falls under the why do we do it? Because we can.
Yeah, absolutely. More power
fun.
to you.
Yeah, good stuff. Thanks, Deb. I want to tell you also, Greg mentioned this earlier, that there is an honor flight going out. It's our last honor flight of the season. It is tomorrow. It's Stars and Stripes honor flight mission number 72. Two big old airplanes that we charter, commercial aircraft, will leave Milwaukee early tomorrow morning. I'm on one plane that leaves at 6:30 in the morning. The other plane leaves at 7:30 in the morning. There will be 154 veterans on the two planes with their guardians. They are veterans from Korea and Vietnam. I love some of these stories. This is such great stuff. A Vietnam veteran with 42 years of service in several branches of the military. That's amazing. On the flight also, an orthopedic surgeon in a Vietnam battlefield hospital, a Vietnam War nurse. We'll have a tank commander, a soldier from Korea, and many Vietnam infantry veterans that saw tough fighting. So we're going to fly them out to Washington, D.C. We leave, like I said, very early in the morning. We'll see the Korean War Memorial, the Vietnam Memorial, the changing of the guard at Arlington. We will treat them like heroes. We will parade them around the nation's capital. Then they come back on our chartered airplane, and they land in Milwaukee for an incredible homecoming. Their Oak Creek High School band will be there. The Greendale High School cheerleader team will be there. Veterans lining the walkways so that they can be saluted and celebrated. We'd love for you to be out there if you're not doing anything. The first plane scheduled to land back here in Milwaukee at our airport about 8 o'clock. I would recommend you get out there no later than 7 o'clock if you want to be part of the celebration. It is Stars and Stripes Honor Flight, mission number 72, lifting off tomorrow. We've taken almost 10,000 local veterans out to Washington, D.C. It is remarkable. and we hope you can help us celebrate tomorrow. So if you're not doing anything, bring the kids. You can bring a little chair like you take to a soccer game and just come out and hang out with us and celebrate our heroes. Man, it's going to be another good day tomorrow. It is 3:55 at WTMJ. Coming up during the 4 o'clock hour, it is Green and Gold Insiders with Jason Wilde, the Week in Review, and Annex Wealth Management's Dave Spano on a great week for the markets. That's up next. It is 3:56 at WTMJ.
Well, it's that time of year to start taking inventory. What around your house needs fixing? Now's a great time before the winter weather hits. You'll want to know that your windows are ready for Wisconsin winter. That's right, Wisconsin winter. It gets a little gnarly out there. Get your windows inspected, get them fixed, get them replaced by Siding Unlimited, the best in the business when it comes to window installation. Don't believe me? Well, Pella recognized Siding Unlimited 3 times as their Platinum National Elite. Pella, Certified Contractor of the Year. That is a national award for Siding Unlimited. That means they have the best products, Pella windows, and they have the best installation teams. You can also count on Siding Unlimited for the best in roofing, the best in siding, the best in spiffing up your outdoor. How about an outdoor kitchen? Maybe a new patio or a deck. That's right, Siding Unlimited's got you covered. Check them out in Brookfield or visit sidingunlimited.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
About 100 UAW represented Stellantis jobs in Milwaukee transferred to Illinois. The transfer is a result of a new contract with the company, which manufactures Jeep, Chrysler, and Ram vehicles. Johnson Controls welcomed several hundred employees relocating from its downtown Milwaukee location to Glendale. The company is putting the final touches on an estimated $6 million remodeling project at its suburban campus. Nico's Premium Pizza comes to West Dallas at 9638 West National Avenue. The product first launched as a menu item in a Waukesha County restaurant and then developed as a frozen pizza line. Customer demand for the pizza drove owner Ken Peters to then open his first full-service restaurant. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
This report is sponsored by the Froedtert Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Froedtert.com to find out how.
You can find affordable holiday decor at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Find cute Christmas decorations, ornaments, trees, and home decor, all at thrift store prices. Gift cards are also available for that shopper on your Christmas list. You'll never overspend on holiday items from St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Returning to Milwaukee, the world's greatest Pink Floyd experience, Brit Floyd, celebrating 30 years of the Division Bell, Friday, April 5th at the Riverside Theater. Brit Floyd, The Pulse Tour. Tickets on sale now at papstheatergroup.com.
There's a reason people sold to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
We needed to sell Mom's home quickly and with a company we could rely on.
No showings, no closing costs, no added stress.
Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests.
Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
Don't wait until the end of the year to look at your financial plan. Now's the time to focus on year-end money-saving opportunities. Schedule your no-obligation retirement review with us at thekowalway.com.
Your locally owned hometown station gives you the news and what it means to you. Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, signed, sealed, and delivered.
I'm Greg Matzik. The strike is over, and so is the plant.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we've got some slowdowns. Mequon Road eastbound is closed at Bunt Rock Avenue in Mequon because of an incident, so be careful there. We've also got an accident on westbound 94 at the Highway F off-ramp. Another issue on 894 southbound at Beloit Road. Left lane is blocked with a broken down vehicle. That's going to be slowing things down. Also, disabled vehicle on the Keefe off-ramp from northbound 43. Both directions on 43 are going to be really slow. The southbound side from Bender Road down past North Avenue. The northbound side slow already out of the Fond du Lac Avenue area up past Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 40 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 53 degrees. It's currently 52. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Milwaukee Common Council giving their seal of approval to Mayor Cavalier Johnson's nearly $2 billion budget, the first in many years to boost services rather than focus on cuts. The budget calls for increases in police and fire department staffing. An amendment taken up by the council today adds Sunday library hours, funds more street repairs, launches a preventive lead abatement program, and opens 2 more early voting locations.
Well, work continues to reestablish an early voting location in Milwaukee's Midtown area, and the answer might lie just down the street.
The current early voting site in the Midtown Center is likely to close due to difficulty negotiating a new lease with the building's Atlanta-based ownership group. Now, moving the voting center to a new site at a former bank just down Capitol Drive is being explored. In a statement, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson said the site is the best alternative to the current location. Milwaukee Elections Commission Executive Director Claire Woodall expects a lease to be prepared for Common Council approval by the end of the month. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Upgrades on the way for the Port of Milwaukee. Over $9 million from the Port Infrastructure Development Program will help construct 2 grain storage silos, make electrical upgrades, and expand the capacity of the port to handle the movement of grain commodities. The project aims to improve the economic advantage of the port. Milwaukee is part of a 41-port improvement project across the country.
Well, Milwaukee police have arrested a suspect in a fatal hit-and-run near 100th and Capitol in Milwaukee Thursday morning. According to MPD, a 20-year-old man is now in custody. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office identified the victim as 32-year-old Erin Marie Mogensen and confirmed that she was around 78 weeks pregnant. The ME's office says the speed limit in the area of the crash is 35 miles per hour, and the car that hit Mogensen's was estimated to be driving at 100 miles per hour.
An auto plant in Milwaukee that's been the scene of UAW strikes is now set to close.
The Stellantis facility in Milwaukee is going to shut down sometime next year, according to the Milwaukee Business Journal. About 100 United Auto Workers jobs in Milwaukee will be transferred to Illinois, where a new mega hub parts distribution center will be built in Belvidere. That's going to replace facilities in Milwaukee, Chicago, and Marysville, Michigan. The Business Journal reports that's part of the new contract signed in late October between the UAW and Stellantis, which is the manufacturer of Jeep, Chrysler, and Ram vehicles. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Well, light at the end of the freeway on the Zoo interchange construction.
Once this job is done, we'll have 4 lanes all the way up to Burleigh, and the congestion that everybody sees kind of coming out of the zoo, our hope is that it's all going to go away.
Sean Race with the Wisconsin Department of Transportation says commuters on 41 North should have smooth sailing when construction of the new traffic corridor is completed. Even with more lanes open, Race says drivers still need to watch out for barrels for a while.
We'll open up all the lanes coming this Monday, but we're still going to have barrels out there for a couple of weeks. Any project of this size, it just takes a while to get all the finishing touches wrapped up.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
All right, the Bucks are back on the home floor tonight. They host the Knicks. Coverage here at 6 o'clock, and the Badgers visit Indiana Saturday morning. Plus, Packers head coach Matt LaFleur welcomes in Brother Mike and the L.A. Rams Sunday for a noon kickoff.
Jason Wilde joins us with the latest on the Packers at 4:16. Siding Unlimited WTMJ News time is 4:05.
News sponsored by Smart Spaces. Visit smartspaceswi.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Greg Scalzo for Smart Spaces. How can Smart Spaces transform your business?
The technology frustrations we hear about, hands down, ease of use. We take that complexity out of it and keep it down to the bare minimum of what they need and what they use. Our goal is to lend a level of simplicity that any knowledge level can walk into that room and at a glance know exactly how to turn that room on and utilize all of its features.
Let Smart Spaces transform your business today. Visit smartspaceswi.com.
Hey, Sandy Max here. Have you heard about my friends at Three Pillars? They're located on 300 gorgeous nature-soaked acres in Dousman, with over 10 miles of walking and biking trails crisscrossing the Bark River. This serene setting is also home to Wisconsin's top-rated continuing care retirement community. Continuing care means every facet: independent living, assisted living, skilled nursing, and rehab. So whatever you need, Three Pillars is the best, and you deserve the best in your retirement. Learn more at threepillars.org.
Exergen thermometers are a top choice of medical professionals at highly ranked hospitals across the U.S. Accuracy matters, so make Exergen the chosen thermometer for your home and family.
Whatever you do, don't buy an engagement ring or any piece of diamond jewelry until you discover the all-new Diamonds Direct, opening very soon on Mayfair Road in front of Mayfair Mall. This is no ordinary jewelry store. Diamonds Direct is a global diamond powerhouse, started by former diamond wholesalers, a real direct importer bringing real price relief to Milwaukee. No middleman, direct importer prices on exquisite diamonds, straight from the diamond cutters. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands, more diamond jewelry than you've ever seen in one place at prices you never thought possible. Why pay 20 to 30% more than you need to? Diamonds Direct is here to revolutionize how people here buy diamonds once and for all, with a staggering selection and prices that will blow you away. All this plus a stunning showroom, unbeatable warranties and guarantees, free service for life on any purchase, and a luxurious shopping experience. Diamonds Direct, Milwaukee's direct diamond importer. Opening soon on Mayfair Road in front of Mayfair Mall.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
In business, everything your employees do impacts your brand, including what they wear. Cintas has high-performance workplace apparel for almost every job imaginable. From work shirts and pants, to polos and khakis, to Oxfords or T-shirts, these clothes move, breathe, and look great. Your team gets the styles they like, you convey the image you want. And Cintas service includes weekly laundry and delivery. To learn more, visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
Greg Matzik is here. So is Debbie Loziga and Wyatt Barmore Pooley. Sam is producing the show with a bunch of school kids. Where are you guys from?
They say Watertown.
Watertown, yeah.
Spent a week there one day.
Yeah, we love Watertown.
You guys can come in. Come on in the studio.
Yeah, bring them in here. Come on in here.
Yeah,
come
it's
on.
okay.
Come through the big door.
We stream on YouTube now. You'll be able to see all the fine folks from Watertown.
All your kids are, all your classmates are going to see it. I see Bucks gear. You guys going to the Bucks game tonight?
Bucks game tonight. What do we got going on? A lot of Bucks gear.
I see a lot of Bucks stuff.
I see a Giannis jersey.
A lot of Giannis.
Good.
This is fantastic.
All right.
Welcome to our studio. Look, you can see out there.
Gather around. Get behind us.
There's food in there.
Have some fun. We'll get your thoughts on the next story we're doing.
It's on YouTube, so see these cameras in the corners? Everybody can see you guys everywhere. So,
yeah, you're like on the show now.
Yeah, you're part of the show.
It's okay.
So try to behave yourself. Or don't.
Okay, or don't.
All right, so this is an interesting story. So DoorDash, they're the company that delivers food to your door, like you can get food delivered from all over the place. DoorDash has decided that if you order, usually when you order from DoorDash and you're going to get some food delivered to your house, you have the option to leave a tip right away. Like, you get your total at $17 for those chicken strips and a couple Diet Cokes. And then you can leave a tip. I'll leave $3. Or you cannot leave a tip. It's at your discretion. DoorDash is now sending out a message that if you make an order and don't leave a tip right away, you get this message on your phone or through the app. Orders with no tip might take longer to get delivered. Are you sure you want to continue? While the majority of customers do leave a tip, their message says, If you don't, it impacts our entire community, so your order may take longer if you decide right now not to leave a tip. I think this is crap. This is terrible. How about this? You pay your people more money, maybe a living wage, so that we don't have to leave them a tip if we don't think it's required. Here's where I'm really irritated. A tip should be left for good service. A tip should be left if you're happy. A tip should be left if you get your food on time and it's warm. A tip should be left if things are right. Now you're going to make me leave the tip when I'm ordering and it's not going to be there for 45 minutes and I don't know how it's going to turn out? I think a tip should reward good behavior, not be given early on. And then what happens if you get there and half your food's wrong and you've already left the tip? You can't take it back. This is terrible.
I'm with you. I think that tipping is usually after the fact, right? You have provided a service, and now I will tip you. But it seems, even in pizza delivery world, if you're going to buy it online, you're going to tip ahead of time.
Usually.
The pizza's going to be left at your door.
Yep.
And that's been going on for a number of years. Somebody's drinking a smoothie here. Nice picks. Did you tip for the smoothie? You did. Oh, one did, one didn't.
Oh, really?
Okay, so this is very confusing because you had the screen flipped in front of you and you had to make a choice, right? What do I do here? It's very confusing, right? Very confusing.
All right, she's the tiebreaker behind you. Did you tip?
She did not.
Oh, 2 no's. So why did you not tip? Yep. She says that she should be rewarded, so she didn't want to tip ahead of time because you don't know if your drink's going to even be right.
But this is totally different. Like, I'm going to tip more if I know the service is going to be prompt and you're right to it.
Yeah.
You're doing a solid here. What if the food is a half hour late? What if you have the wrong address? What if the order is wrong? Like, what did I just do? Did I just tip for you to get here quicker?
And I think the tip should be incentive. So if you don't tip ahead of time, then they're going to try to get the food there on time. They're going to try to make sure it's warm. They're going to hustle a little bit because they know their tip is counting on it. If I've already tipped them, they already have my money in their pocket. They're like, yeah, whatever, I'm tooling around. I might get there on time. I might not. They already have my money. There's no incentive for them to make sure that they get there.
So DoorDash revenue last year spiked 27% to $2.2 billion. $2.2 billion. In the third quarter alone, they had year-over-year growth to $543 million.
It's a big number.
But they're not going to pay a minimum wage to their drivers.
Right. Pay them more so I don't have to tip more. By the way, during COVID-19, tipping in general, up 26% since COVID. People are tipping more. People are generous in general. At restaurants alone, tipping, experts believe, is up 17%. That's a big number. We're doing our part. Just give me the chance to do it when it seems like it's appropriate.
Right.
All right, Watertown, thanks for hanging out with us.
Nice work, everybody. Hey, going to the Bucks game? Bucks game?
Go
right,
Bucks!
No going on the floor. They don't like that.
Go Bucks! You might have money for dinner after you bought those smoothies. 4:13 at WTMJ. Up next, Green and Gold Insiders with Jason Wilde.
Great. Another team with an annoying sideline celebrity.
Here's Johnny.
Nope, not him.
Working on a weekend like usual.
Not him either.
And Reggie Miller in an animated discussion with Spike Lee.
Yeah, that guy.
Well, you can see him from a mile away with that sweater.
It's the Bucks and the Knicks. Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6. We are the home of the Bucks. WTMJ.
Hey, I want to tell you about my favorite hangout for hounds and humans. It is the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls, right off Silver Spring, and incredibly easy to find. You're going to love it there. And maybe most important, your dog is going to love it there. Daycare, boarding, grooming. There's even a fun dog park and tavern. It's kind of an indoor-outdoor tavern. You want to catch a beer on a nice day, watch a game with your dog or without, you can do it at the Hounds and Tap, and they often have food trucks arriving. So grab a bite to go along with that beer or whatever, or just hang out with your dog and enjoy the cleanliness of the facility. It's an amazing place, and it's not a retrofit. It was designed specifically for dogs. You'll see what I'm talking about. 12,000 square feet, 3 acres of land, a great Facebook page. See all the happy dogs on their Facebook page. It's the Hounds and Tap.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Brett Kitchen, best-selling author and star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollars saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, The Baby Boomer Dilemma, at 800-648-0303. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you'll get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call right now, 1-800-648-0303. That's 1-800-648-0303, 1-800-648-0303.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. When I blew out my hamstring water skiing this summer, my docs at Ortho Wisconsin heard me talking about it on the radio. They called me. Hey, do you need to come in and get this thing checked out? Actually, I did. And I'm back on the tennis court playing golf, grateful for the experts at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Injured, or maybe the young athlete in your family needs help? The Ortho ASAP Clinic has walk-in hours in Brookfield and Pewaukee, or make an appointment at orthowisconsin.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Lazaga. Good afternoon, Deb.
Good afternoon, John. Well, eastbound on 94, we're seeing backups from before 84th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange, so give yourself some extra time through there. We've also got a broken down vehicle on 43 northbound at Keefe's off-ramp. That's going to be backing things up out of the Marquette all the way up to that scene. Southbound side, very heavy from Good Hope Road all the way down past Locust. And I did some a little bit of research for you, John. 41 southbound is going to be closed in the Richfield interchange from 10 till 6 tomorrow morning. And then also there's going to be a contingency plan between Burleigh and Watertown Plank Road. If they can't get a lot of that stuff done because of rain, they might be doing that area as well. Southbound 43 from Highway 60 to Highland, and then from Good Hope Road to Silver Spring. Both of those closed from 11 p.m. until 6 a.m. So folks heading to the airport for the honor flight, just heads up with that. You might need to factor that into your ride.
Good stuff, Deb. Thank you for the heads up. The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, cloudy skies, a low of 42 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny, a high of 51. And Sunday, sunny, a high of 54. On Monday, chance for rain, a high of 63. And on Tuesday, mostly cloudy, a high of 53 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it's cloudy and 52.
It's time for Green and Gold Insiders on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Are you guys in there with Sam? Are you also from Watertown? It's like a Watertown invasion.
Did you have school today? No school.
Oh, you're off of school, so you're going to the Bucks game.
There you go.
Oh, fantastic.
Who let you in?
And you in the back. Go Giants. Yeah, you. The only one with the Giants hat on. Yep. All right. Hey, let's bring in our guy, Jason Wilde. Wilde and Tausch, 9 a.m. to noon, Monday through Friday on ESPN Milwaukee. Jason, how are you?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Good. So Halloween here, we talked about this, right? No, you were with us on Monday. It snowed and it was miserable. And I had like 20 trick-or-treaters. We usually have over 100. How was Halloween up in Titletown?
It was great. I don't know how much longer the girls will be of trick-or-treating age, although, I'm always a proponent of these kids that don't even bother to put a costume on. They just grab a pillowcase and go out and collect free candy. So if they want to keep doing that, great. But I love being able to – we live on a cul-de-sac, so we try to get out a little bit more away from our house because there's only so many people in our little neighborhood. And I'll say this, we started right at 4 o'clock. They did not want to mess around. They wanted to get going. And we had the streets of Green Bay to ourselves for the first 20 to 30 minutes. We didn't encounter any other trick-or-treaters, so – they did well. We stuck with it for 3 full hours, and I think Paula had 33 trick-or-treaters at our house.
Now, wait, did you say earlier that you're a proponent of kids not wearing a costume and coming with a pillowcase? No.
Yeah.
They have to have a costume and they have to be polite.
Well, I didn't say they don't have to be polite, John.
But Jason, they have to have a costume. How are you in favor of that? You're a Law and Order rules kind of guy.
I'm going as a member of the disaffected youth that needs free candy. No, that's fair. That's fair. But I don't think my girls will do that. I think they love the costume too much. And again, they're 13 and 12, so I can see the end coming, and it's so much. We really enjoy it. So I'm in no rush. And if they decide to go as it's just an unhappy high schooler, I hope they're at least happy.
Wildy, I don't know if you played this game in the Wildy household or if you played it growing up, but I am still trying to one-up my brother on anything possible to draw the attention of my parents, right? I want to be the favorite son. This is just kind of what happens in our household. My brother's 5 years older.
How's that
going? Okay, decent. I live closer. That helps. I have not, however, purchased my parents a home. And I don't know why I didn't know this, but Matt LaFleur apparently has for his parents. With brother Mike coming to town, it would appear to me that Matt is maybe a step ahead of brother Mike in the Favorite Son Award.
Yeah, so they moved down from Michigan. I think they live at Titletown somewhere. But yeah, he did that, and it's interesting because, first of all, these coaches, whether it's Matt LaFleur or Mike McCarthy, and you have kids, and look, I could never do it because I really enjoy. He didn't have time on Tuesday night. They were game planning. He wasn't taking his kids trick-or-treating. So good thing I have very little football acumen, so I don't have to worry about being hired to be one of the Packers' assistant coaches. But, it does kind of take a village when you've got an NFL coach in your family. And I know Mike McCarthy's parents moved from Pittsburgh to be closer to them. And so it's, I do think that that's probably part of it, is to kind of help out with the grandkids. But, yeah, they live right by Lambeau Field, which is very convenient. And, Matt LaFleur is doing a little bit better. That head coach money is a little bit better than offensive coordinator money. So I would expect him to be the one who's ponying up for the casa for his parents.
All right, let's stay on the coach beat, talk Brewers coach. We've been talking a lot this afternoon about Craig Counsell. The scuttlebutt is that the Mets are going to make him an offer this weekend, and the Brewers will likely respond early next week. He makes, Jason, reportedly $3.5 million a year. He's likely to get double that, especially with the Mets in the ball game. Should he be the highest paid coach in Major League Baseball? Is he worth $7 million?
I think he is, and I also think that all of us, right, are deserving of what the market bears for our services, right? And you guys do a great job on this show. You deserve to be paid appropriately, right? So I always love it when, there's fans that, whether it's with a player or whoever, that they want that hometown discount for them, because I don't think we should have to do that. If you're at the top of your profession, and look, what he's done with a small market team, I think he's at that spot. What I'm curious about, because one of the things I love about Craig, and I have some mutual friends with him. I'm not friends with him personally, but I have some friends who grew up with him and love him. What I loved about him, or love because he hasn't left yet, it's like he grew up the same way as me. Like I grew up on the south side, he grew up on the north side. But we went to Brewers games at County Stadium and cheered for Robin Yount and Paul Molitor. And when they weren't winning yet, I remember him doing a commercial where he basically talked, and it could have been me doing it. So the idea of him going off and managing the Mets, as opposed to, say, if he took a couple of years off to watch his kids play college baseball, would have been much easier for me as a Brewers fan to handle. If he ends up going to the Mets because he'll have a better chance to win and get paid better, that'll make me sad. But he deserves to do with his life whatever is going to make him and his family happiest, and what will scratch the competitive itch that I'm sure he has. I'm sure he loves the idea of possibly managing a team with basically an unlimited payroll as opposed to what we have here.
All right, Jason, you spent a lot of time around the team this week after the trade deadline. What was the buzz? What was the feeling and mood in the locker room, in your estimation, after a veteran starter was traded away?
Yeah, no doubt disappointment, anger among veteran players. Now, whether or not that carried over to these young guys, I mean, you know this, Greg, they're kind of just happy to be here, just trying to figure out what the heck they're doing at this level. So I'm not sure it has the same type of impact as it might have on a more extensively veteran team. But Jair Alexander, Kenny Clark, Keyshawn Nixon, Devondre Campbell, those types of guys, Preston Smith, I'm sure that there's a level of disappointment there. And so, once we get to game day, they can't be wallowing about that sort of stuff. But I don't think there's any question that mentally they need to lock in because, look, we don't know if Matthew Stafford's going to play or not. If he does, this is a team with Cooper Kupp and their young wide receiver that they're really excited about, Puka Nacua. I mean, the Packers defense is going to have their hands full from a pass defense standpoint, and they certainly aren't better without Rasul Douglas on their roster.
All right, Jason, good to have you with us. Hope you have a great weekend, pal.
Can't wait to show up next year for Halloween and take in some of those 22 full-size candy bars that you gave out when I go as nobody but me.
You might get popcorn, too.
Yeah, you might. I hope you like popcorn, microwave popcorn. Not,
all right, boys.
not the
Take care.
popcorn ball, microwave popcorn.
It's a big difference.
Hey, Wildy, have a good weekend.
You too, guys. Thanks.
426 at WTMJ. After the news, it is the Week in Review. First, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. All in the green. What a good week it was. The S&P 500 capped off the week up 41 points to close at 43.58. The Dow was up 222 points today to close at 34,061. And the NASDAQ was up 184 to close at 13,478. It's time for the Annex Wealth Management Tax Smart Planning Review. They'll review, assess, and provide strategies you can use. Go to annexwealth.com/tax smart. Dave Drake Heating. Let me tell you a little bit about Dave Drake Heating. They are the real deal. I've been with them for a very long time. Are you hosting Thanksgiving this year? Let my guys at Dave Drake Camp make sure that you are in good shape for Thanksgiving. Heading up north for the annual week at Deer Camp? Ensure your heating system there is up to task. Ensure the one here is up to task while you're away. There's only one call you need to make and one number to post on the refrigerator. It's the number for my friends at Dave Drake Camp Heating. For over 40 years, Dave Drake Camp Heating's been Southeast Wisconsin's trusted and respected go-to provider for home comfort all year long. Whether you just need routine maintenance to make sure things are safe and reliable, or you know it's time to replace that old system with something more efficient, Dave Drake Camp Heating's got you covered. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. When you're really good at something, you're always in demand, and your schedule fills up fast. That's what happens with Dave Drake Camp. So get on top of your situation now before the snow really starts to fly. Make sure you call today and book that appointment with the teams I trust at Dave Drake Camp Heating. Settling last minute with a company that claims they do it all is not the answer. Visit DaveDrakeCamp.com. The teams I trust are at Dave Drake Camp.
Small business owners can make a little of anything go a long way.
It's true. My bakery is made up of a little sugar, spice, and edible glitter.
Well, that's why U.S. Cellular is offering small businesses lines for as little as $19.99, plus $300 off any phone.
That's great. A little does go a long way. Unless we're talking sprinkles, everyone always needs more sprinkles.
Oh, of course. Get lines for $19.99 plus $300 off any phone today. U.S. Cellular, built for business, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Hey, the holiday shopping season is right around the corner. Might be here for you already. Well, why not make a stop at Flanners Home Entertainment? If you need something big, Flanners. If you need something small, like a stocking stuffer, yeah, Flanners. Flanners Home Entertainment in West Dallas, Grafton, and at Flanners.com. Forget about the big box stores and those risky online purchases. At Flanners, you've got the team to help you with your upgrade to your TV and audio system. Like I said, they got the big stuff, they got the small stuff. Whatever you need at Flanners, it's there for you. Guaranteed best prices, quality service, the best brands, they all remain top priorities. It's a Wisconsin company. They've been doing it right for decades. Always a treat to visit Flanners. Flanners, sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. They're the best. Let them make Outdoor Living Unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Kohler Services. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Traffic sponsored by Wettiger Compressor, the Midwest air compressor experts. Visit pressureisoff.biz. Servicing world-class Wisconsin manufacturers for 9 decades. Contact Wettiger Compressor at pressureisoff.biz.
Wettiger Compressor.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley. Your top story, no cuts.
Trouble along westbound 94 at 35th Street. The 2 right lanes are blocked with an incident, so watch out for that. We've also got an issue on southbound 894 at Beloit Road. Left lane's blocked with a broken down vehicle, and that's solid all the way back through the Zoo Interchange. Also, northbound 41's backing up out of the Zoo Interchange all the way up past Swan Boulevard. Of course, we got our delays along southbound 43 from Bender Road all the way down past Locust. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly cloudy skies tonight, a low of 40. Tomorrow's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 53. It is 53 with some light rain showers at 4:31 in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Milwaukee Common Council giving a thumbs up to Mayor Cavalier Johnson's proposed budget. That's nearly $2 billion for the 2024 budget, the first in many years to boost services rather than focus on cuts. The budget calls for increases in police and fire department staffing. An amendment taken up by the council today is also adding Sunday library hours, more street repairs, a preventative lead abatement loan program, and 2 more early voting locations. The victims have been identified in an overnight crash on Milwaukee's north side that killed 3. Latasha Dyson and LaShonda Jackson were passengers in a car that was hit at Sherman and Flores. They were pronounced dead on the scene. Ebony Johnson was driving the vehicle. She was ejected from the car and died at the hospital. Milwaukee police say the driver of the striking vehicle drove through a blinking stoplight at the intersection, fled on foot after the crash, but he was arrested and now faces multiple charges. Work continues to reestablish one of those early voting locations in Milwaukee's Midtown area, and the answer might lie just down the street.
The current early voting site in the Midtown Center is likely to close due to difficulty negotiating a new lease with the building's Atlanta-based ownership group. Now, moving the voting center to a new site at a former bank just down Capitol Drive is being explored. In a statement, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson said the site is the best alternative to the current location. Milwaukee Elections Commission Executive Director Claire Woodall expects a lease to be prepared for Common Council approval by the end of the month. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The Elections Commission says in both the 2020 and 2022 elections, about 30% of the absentee ballots cast in Milwaukee during early voting came from that Midtown site. You might have tough luck bagging a big buck this year. The state DNR anticipates a lower harvest during gun deer hunting season, thanks in part to a lack of snow cover that's going to make it easier to track the animals. The DNR's Jeff Pritzel tells WISC-TV.
We had really great conditions in 2022. And although the tendency is always to kind of compare what we do this year to last year and then grade it as better or worse, I'd be surprised if we match last year's harvest numbers.
Last year, hunters bagged more than 203,000 deer, roughly 8% more than the state's 5-year average. Gun deer season begins this year on November 18th. If you went to the Badgers football game last weekend, you couldn't miss it. It was a giant Bucky Badger image, hundreds of feet in the air, all part of a unique drone show during halftime of the game. Drone shows are a growing industry that could pose a threat to the fireworks industry.
It was put on by Sky Elements, based out of Texas. Pilot Casey Seelock calls it an intricate process.
All the software is up and running correctly. We build a full network. We make sure all the drones know where they're supposed to be.
Drone shows won't ever eliminate fireworks, but Seelock says the drone show business is booming because there are locations where it is a better alternative.
There may be fire bans or restrictions on fireworks in general. It's just the noise for animals and folks with PTSD.
Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
And I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:34.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first. And then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for one of the very special places in our community. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. They offer early memory loss classes. They take care of people in your family who have dementia symptoms or other related cognitive declines. I'll tell you what, I've been in their facilities. They're special. They're incredible. I have an aunt who's in a facility. I know what it means to make sure your family's in the right place. That's Azura. It's compassion and empathy. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, AzuraLiving.com. Hey, John Mercure here. Potawatomi Casino Hotel is serving some incredible dining promotions this month. And not only that, but they're giving away a ton of cash. I love that. They always do that. Here with us today is Sarah Neubauer from Potawatomi Casino Hotel to help us start off this cold November with some hot deals, some great meals. Hey, Sarah.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going great. A lot to celebrate this month. It's Native American Heritage Month, Veterans Day on the 11th, then Thanksgiving. Wow. Tell us what's all included.
Yeah, so to honor Native American Heritage Month, we'll be serving bison chili at the Gilded Cleaver, which is located in our Potawatomi Marketplace. And to honor our veterans, we have a slew of free food for those who served our country. This includes a farmhouse breakfast at Canal Street Cafe, a free pulled pork sandwich at Rock and Brews, a delicious brat at our newest restaurant, Street Eats, and a free order of tacos at Taco Spot.
Oh, my gosh. I love this. Honoring our veterans, honoring the culture and traditions of the indigenous people. And then Thanksgiving. What should our listeners keep in mind for Thanksgiving Day?
Well, we'll be open and serving incredible food. We have a Thanksgiving pumpkin pie to go for just $10 at Cream City Coffee and Minnie and Wow. We'll also have a turkey buffet at Canal Street Cafe, a specialty sandwich at our sandwich shop, and a turkey porchetta special at Dream Dance Steakhouse. There's so much going on, so much I couldn't even touch on with the time we have, but check out our website at paysbig.com to find more.
Sarah Neubauer is with us. Sounds like amazing stuff. Another amazing thing is winning money. Another amazing thing is giving away money. It's the giving season. Heart of Canal Street. Applications are still open. I love that. Tell us about the applications.
Yeah, so our applications are still open. The deadline to apply is November 14th. So we're definitely encouraging children's charities in Southeast Wisconsin to visit paysbig.com/heart to apply. So it's coming up quick.
Paysbig.com, that's the website. Sarah Neubauer, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
All right, happy Friday. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for spending part of it here with us. Hey, we're going to have a very interesting conversation. We're going to begin at top of a few minutes before the top of this hour and then carry it into next hour. It's about inheritance, so just kind of think about this. Inheritance. Are you leaving your kids money? Are you leaving your kids your house? Are you leaving your kids anything in inheritance, or do you think that's a bad idea? They should just do their own thing and count on themselves. Celebrities out there are beginning to sound off on the fact that they're leaving their kids nothing. What are your thoughts? We'll discuss with Dave Spano and then take your phone calls and texts coming up a little bit later on. But first, on Fridays, we always do the Week in Review. This week, spooky stories, even scarier weather. Governor Evers sues the legislature, an annual Milwaukee tradition renewed, and more. It's the Week in Review, sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go.
The big story overnight, obviously, is Matthew Perry being found dead.
A call was received at 4:07 p.m. about an unresponsive man in his 50s. An ambulance was sent to the scene, but it was already too late.
Did he have the widest range of performance? Maybe not. But, he really perfected that kind of Chandler Bing delivery to a degree that it became iconic, that everybody last night could be saying, Could I be more sorry?
Packers in free fall. When's the last time you remember us dropping 4 straight?
Downward spiral.
A point of emphasis for Matt LaFleur's team heading into Sunday's game was getting off to a fast start. Mission failed.
Downward spiral.
Was obviously tough to watch.
Matt LaFleur
sucks. I'm sorry, baby. I love you.
This is the radio version of Santa Claus, your Halloween special.
You've been naughty all year long.
The clock was ticking down. 3, 2, 1. The large blade fell. Ah! And Billy awoke. No! Happy Halloween.
Dark! Holy dark! Oh, man.
Elston, what did I let you talk?
You're a sick little kid. You were a sick little kid.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Closing any of our schools is a failure.
Facing a $9 million budget shortfall in the 2024-25 school year, the Wauwatosa School District is saying the closure of Washington and Jefferson elementary schools is on the table.
The financial and communal health of our neighborhoods is directly connected to these institutions.
There is nothing off the table. In fact, it is a scenario where all schools can remain open.
A federal judge is dismissing former Packers quarterback Brett Favre's defamation lawsuit against fellow retired NFL player Shannon Sharpe.
The argument for Governor Evers is that state Republicans are violating the Wisconsin Constitution by obstructing basic government functions.
When it comes to issues like state employee compensation, that is the end of the process from his point of view. And Republicans would say, no, there's this other step in the process.
Thunder, snow, water spouts, strong winds. In the Fox Valley, Neenah, 5 inches of snow. West Allis coming in at 4 inches. Burlington with 3.
Measurable snow has only happened 5 times. So it's pretty rare.
9 times.
Nope.
5 times.
A teenager accused of killing a 5-year-old Milwaukee boy is a danger to society. That's what prosecutors say about Eric Mendoza, who's 15, admitting to stabbing strangers on the street days before Prince McCree was found dead.
Today in court, the state describing the accusations as serious and heinous. Mendoza also remained quiet, head down, when Prince McCree's father was forced from the courtroom this morning, first speaking, then yelling at Eric Mendoza that he knows him, that he broke their family.
At 6:45, I want to go back live to the northwest side of Milwaukee, where WTMJ's Adam Roberts is live as the city Christmas tree is now being hoisted onto the back of a flatbed truck.
Adam, can you also ask the mayor about what he hopes people will think of and feel about when they see the tree? Like that was
apparently he's already gotten that question.
Yeah, I think a couple reporters beat me to the punch on that one, Eric.
The Republicans who voted against the resolution said Santos has only been charged with crimes, not convicted. The vote wasn't even close.
The yeas are 179, the nays are 213, with 19 recorded as present. 2/3 not voting in the affirmative. The resolution is not adopted.
Glendale police are investigating alleged child pornography being circulated among students at Nicolay High School.
Here's how I approach the conversation. Here's what the law says. If you get something like this, or you're involved in something like this, like that's police time. It's not funny, it's not interesting, it's not whatever. So like just flat don't do it.
Deja vu at the former Northridge Mall. The Milwaukee Fire Department responding around 8:30 this morning to a report of a smoldering fire inside the Northridge atrium.
Your need-to-know cultural snapshot of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Max.
It is me. Super excited about this show because it's a way for us to hear about and experience culture and creativity here in Wisconsin and around the world.
What a week.
I'm not right about a lot of stuff.
Chigwamagon.
Take care. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
All right, the Weekend Review is brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Debbie helps get you home. Up next.
Hi, it's Brian Noonan from WTMJ Nights. I've got some big news. Starting now, you can download WTMJ Nights wherever you get your podcasts. That's right, you can enjoy our nighttime fun anytime you want. Find WTMJ Nights on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Local news, national stories, random silliness. You'll get a bit of everything on WTMJ Nights. So join me, Brian Noonan, weeknights from 6 to 9 here on WTMJ, the WTMJ mobile app, or wherever you get your podcasts. WTMJ Nights. Listen whenever and wherever you want.
Hey, John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. Is your financial advisor a full-time fiduciary, not part-time where they suddenly switch into an insurance salesperson pushing a commission product? Annex is local, independent, and part of the community, and that matters. Their investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning teams are based right here in southeast Wisconsin. Annex will meet you where you're at. If you're just starting out, there's Annex Ignite. Maybe Annex Comprehensive Wealth is the right fit, or Annex Private Client when you've got complex needs combined with high net worth. If market volatility has you worried, don't sit still. This is a time to move forward and be ready for what's next. Annex has locations in Elm Grove, Mequon, Lake Country, downtown inside the Pfister. They're in Appleton, Madison, Northern Illinois, and Florida, or Annex is always as close as your computer. Visit annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button today. Michelle and I did that years and years ago. We've been with Annex ever since. We just trust them. That's Annex Wealth Management.
I'm looking for the fastest and easiest way to sell my home, and I keep hearing one name over and over. So I ask people, why Grandview Homes instead of a real estate agent?
We needed to sell Mom's home quickly and with a company we could rely on.
We settled on Grandview based primarily on reputation.
Was the house in rough shape?
Yeah.
She accumulated 50 years worth of stuff.
It was very convenient to just leave everything I did not want and not worry about it. They took out all the stress of emptying and cleaning the home.
That sounds pretty easy.
And no showings, no closing costs, no staging, no real estate agent fees, no added stress.
Okay, that is easy.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. We buy every home as is, and you'll get a fair cash offer in just hours. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Traffic and weather, it's Debbie Lazaga. Good afternoon, Deb.
Yep, it's a little bit of a difficult ride out there, but things are getting better. We had that issue on 894 southbound at Beloit Road with that left lane blocked up with a broken down vehicle. That's been cleared, and the delays are slowly starting to work themselves out. We do have another issue, though, westbound 94 with the two right lanes blocked because of some debris through there, and that's backing things up through the Marquette. Eastbound, everybody's just slowing down. We got from 92nd Street all the way through the stadium, and southbound 43, a long slow crawl from Silver Spring all the way down past Locust, and then back on the brakes again right through the Marquette interchange. And don't forget, if you happen to see something on the roads we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda Milwaukee.com traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. Visit Hall Mazda during Mazda's Season of Inspiration. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 42. On Saturday, partly sunny, a high of 51. On Sunday, sun cloud mix, a high of 54. Monday, we warm it up a little bit, a high of 63. And on Tuesday, mostly cloudy, a high of 53 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it's cloudy and 52 degrees. All right, let's talk money with you on this Friday afternoon. Dave Spano is the president and CEO of Annex Wealth Management. He's sitting in his Annex Wealth Management studio. Yeah. Dave, thank you so much for being here.
Man, so nice to be here. Love this place.
Money Talk, the Annex Wealth Management show is 10 a.m. on Saturdays here on WTMJ, and I always try to check that out. Dave, a good week for the markets. Markets were running this week, seriously climbing all week long. What did the markets like this week?
Yeah, for sure. It was up about 6% on the major indexes, which is a big run. You know, we were probably oversold, but certainly reacted for a number of reasons. Most importantly, the Fed came out this week and said we're going to start to be dovish. You know, there's three types of birds when they talk about the Federal Reserve. There's usually the dove and the hawk. I think they've been kind of a chicken lately, but they've come out, as a matter of fact, and said they're probably going to sit tight. You look at really what's happening, and we saw the report today through the labor report, all pointing that the Fed's raising rates is doing what they intended to do, which is to slow down the economy.
So when these things, this confluence happens like it is, earlier in the week, the indications of a pause, the jobs report comes out. Take us inside the dynamic of how do investors digest this? And we talk about the markets, but it's really lots and lots and lots of people and corporations. How does it play out? How does our money get impacted when these factors come together?
Well, the biggest thing, of course, is interest rates. And you know, when the Federal Reserve tries to raise rates, they're trying to slow down the economy. Seems to be working. But what's happening is Treasury rates have gone up significantly. A 2-year Treasury was as high as 5%. We saw the 10-year come down significantly this past week. Why is that important? Not only the corporations, as you've pointed out, but because corporations borrow money. If they can lend it and they can borrow it at a cheaper amount, that's better for their profitability. The same way you and I would go to the bank and try to borrow money. If it's cheaper, we'll spend more of it.
Hey, Dave, what sequence of events would need to occur in order for interest rates to go back down to 6 or 5 or even lower?
That's a great question. So this Fed Reserve has this thing that's called the dot plots. It's really a guess of where they think interest rates are going to go, the Federal Reserve governors. I call it the dart plots because it's kind of like a dart game.
You got pet names for everything.
I do. But, you know, and I have a nice one for you as well. But the fact of the matter is we think interest rates are going to start heading down sometime in the middle of next year. That's the estimation right now. Why do we think that? because the Federal Reserve does look at the treasuries or the market. And right now, market rates are lower than the Federal Reserve. So, for example, if the 10-year treasury is trading at 4.5% theoretically, and they're at 5.25%, they're probably going to try to match market rates. If it stays there, they're probably going to have to start to adjust rates down sometime in the middle of next year. That means mortgage rates could come down next year as well.
Will we ever get back to, I have mortgages that are both under 3%.
Yep.
I mean, I think we're all hoping now like 5, 6 would be incredible. It's very unlikely that anytime, even if you look 5 years out, that we're back below, 4%, isn't it?
Yeah, so let's think about really how we got there. Back in the financial crisis of 2008, the Federal Reserve went on this crazy thing called quantitative easing. And what that really means is they went out and they manipulated the bond market, the interest rates. And so it was supposed to be a little one-off thing to get us through the financial crisis, but they got addicted to it, and those consumers got addicted to it, and that stuck around for nearly 14 years of them manipulating the markets. Well, now that quantitative easing has ended, and we'll try to get more of a natural rate, it'll be somewhere between where we are today and those unnatural rates of 2%. So I do agree with you that probably 5% will probably be a good rate down the road.
And isolating the home market here, Dave, has it ever been more challenging to get into a home now than since you've been with Annex?
Yeah, well, it's been a long time. But, really what's happening is a supply and demand issue. So just like anything else, it's economics 101. There just isn't enough demand. There isn't enough supply of homes to match the demand. And that's the reason why even today, in your neighborhood, probably you see a house go up, Greg, and all of a sudden you get 4 or 5 offers. That is continuing to happen. It's just not as aggressive as it used to be because interest rates are higher. And some people, as John just pointed out, they're in a 3% mortgage. If they're going to go buy a new house and have to go out and get an 8% mortgage, they say, I'm just going to stay where I'm at. And so there just isn't enough houses out there because of that.
We are truly in a global economy, a geopolitical situation that plays out every single day. Dave, explain how things that happen far away, like the Hamas attack in Israel, or what could happen in Taiwan, impact our markets here and our money.
Well, there's so many layers to that. Most importantly is sentiment, right? And so consumer sentiment drives GDP in this country. And when people are afraid or they're concerned or they don't know what's going to happen, you can't really go too far to say, are we on the precipice of World War III? I mean, what's Iran doing? Is Russia involved? And we've got 2 flat-top carrier strike groups right there. I mean, that's no joke. And so people look at that. And you mentioned Taiwan. China is looking over at Taiwan like it's a sausage sandwich. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff happening around the world that can cause consumer concern. And because of that, that changes sentiment. But more importantly, there's economic issues as well. If something happens, for example, in Europe, and it affects the U.S. dollar, that affects what you and I pay, and that, of course, affects the economy. So we're all interconnected, as you said.
Dave, how does Annex try and thread the needle when you have a month like you did in October? We saw the Dow go from 35,000 roughly down to below 33,000. Now it's making a nice strong comeback here, and that's a great thing to see in November. But how do you thread the needle of playing defense so that the portfolio doesn't take such a big hit, but also capitalizing on that time where it does bounce back?
Yeah, there's really 2 parts of that. And the first and foremost, Greg, is the fact that you cannot time the market. And why not is because there just isn't too many people ever who have successfully done that. One, when you try to time the market, you have to know when to get out, but that's the first decision. The second decision, as you just pointed out, is when to get back in. You have to be right twice. So the way to do that is really to have a core portfolio, and you can tactically around that core make minor adjustments up or down on some tactical positions, maybe raise some cash. If you go in your portfolio and you have a stock that's made a lot of money, you think it's fully valued, you can take that one off, and as the market comes back down, redeploy those assets. That's not timing the market. That's just being strategic. That's keeping your finger on the pulse, and there are a number of really good investment advisors that do that.
Dave Spano is the president and CEO of Annex Wealth Management. So, Dave, this week a bunch of celebrities came out and they said, we're not leaving our inheritance to our kids. We're giving it all away to charity. Then a couple of others weighed in and said, well, that's selfish. We're, of course, going to make our kids better than we were. You guys helped me at Annex set up our trust and our estate and take care of all of that stuff. What are things that people should think about when they do think about their legacy and their future and what they do with the money when they're no longer here?
Yeah, so estate planning is what we do with all of our clients, and we think it's important for some obvious reasons. Obviously, we want to make sure that the beneficiaries are set up, that you have some trust, that you've done some tax planning along with that. But, in that example, there, you have to look at everyone's facts and circumstances. We have clients who are worth a lot of money, and then we have normal people like you and I, right? And we go through that process and say, how do we do that? Maybe they've given their money to their kids. Maybe their kids are well off the way they are. Maybe they've had this conversation. That's an important piece. If you've had this conversation with your kids and your kids go, Mom and Dad, I'm good, go spend it. I mean, we've had these conversations, but the estate planning process is really a very difficult part. We're going to talk about this tomorrow morning when I'm back in here at 10 o'clock, is the fact that we just saw Jamie Dimon, the famous CEO of JP Morgan, said that he's doing some estate planning. And so, he sold some of his shares. Why did he do that? He had a highly concentrated position of his own stock, JP Morgan, so he's doing some things. But there's two parts of this. It's a heart issue. How do you feel about it? And then there's a head issue. What is the math behind it? And you have to, John, go through every one of these with your clients and have these discussions. What's your heart issue and what's the head issue?
I'd also like to give you credit today because not everybody can pull off a turtleneck, and you've done that beautifully.
Well, thank you. And you know why I'm doing that, because I'm headed over to Hart Park for Friday Night Lights.
High school football, right?
Yes. Football. It's going to be fun. Yeah. So is it really a turtleneck?
It might be a mock turtleneck.
It might be a mock, but
it's a nice Under Armour undergarment.
It's an undergarment.
Nice.
I'll be out there, I'm watching the kids play football, so I'm excited about it, and I expect a full report out of the sports department of WTMJ tomorrow.
And you will get it. And you can check out Dave and his team. It's Money Talk, the Annex Wealth Management Show. It'll be on tomorrow, 10 a.m. here on WTMJ. Dave, we always appreciate it when you're with us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It is 4:56 at WTMJ. I want to tell you about my company, Sidex. I love these guys. They transformed my bathroom. They took the tub out. They put in a walk-in shower. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's glass and tile-like. Doing our project from the beginning was the best move we ever made in our bathroom. It is easy. They've got the best products and the industry's best installers. It's Sidex. They only do projects once. You never have to do them again. It's Sidex. If you want to get rid of that tub you've had in your house for many years and put in a walk-in shower, it's Sidex. You can trust them. You can count on them. It's easy. It's Sidex, S-I-D-E-X, like excellence. Free shower door upgrade when you mention WTMJ or John Mercier. It's Sidex.
Thinking about remodeling your bath or shower? Now's the perfect time to save on design and remodeling with Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer, offering fast, professional installation and care for life. For 2 weeks only, Kohler Services is offering $1,500 off your shower or bath remodel from now until November 15th. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
About 100 UAW represented Stellantis jobs in Milwaukee transferred to Illinois. The transfer is a result of a new contract with the company, which manufactures Jeep, Chrysler, and Ram vehicles. Johnson Controls welcomed several hundred employees relocating from its downtown Milwaukee location to Glendale. The company is putting the final touches on an estimated $6 million remodeling project at its suburban campus. Nico's Premium Pizza comes to West Allis at 9638 West National Avenue. The product first launched as a menu item in a Waukesha County restaurant and then developed as a frozen pizza line. Customer demand for the pizza drove owner Ken Peters to then open his first full-service restaurant. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
The Pfister Hotel is proud to announce a series of renovations now underway that will elevate its guest experience with added elegance, approachable sophistication, and modern amenities that will blend effortlessly with the Pfister's iconic charm. With fully renovated ballrooms and meeting spaces, all new guest rooms in the historic tower, and exciting enhancements to the lobby and other common areas, all phases of this plan are expected to be completed by spring 2024. Milwaukee may have plenty of wonderful hotels, but make no mistake, there is only one Pfister Hotel.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Brett Kitchen, best-selling author and star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollars saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, The Baby Boomer Dilemma, at 800-648-0303. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you'll get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call right now, 1-800-648-0303. That's 1-800-648-0303, 1-800-648-0303.
Returning to Milwaukee, the world's greatest Pink Floyd experience, Brit Floyd, celebrating 30 years of the Division Bell, Friday, April 5th at the Riverside Theater. Brit Floyd, The Pulse Tour. Tickets on sale now at papstheatergroup.com.
Sponsored by Roto-Rooter, the sewer and drain experts you've trusted for over 85 years.
Roto-Rooter can locate underground pipes without digging up your yard. Roto-Rooter keeps your pipes free of debris.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
GetRoto.net.
Your hometown hub for everything that matters. The latest news, traffic, weather, and sports on Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, more police, fire, and library hours.
I'm Greg Matzik. Falling back into bed.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we do have an issue along westbound 94 at 35th Street. 2 right lanes are blocked right now. They're calling it debris there, and it is making for a nasty ride out of the Marquette. Give yourself tons of extra time if you do have to go through there. Eastbound slow from the zoo all the way through the stadium interchange to about 35th Street where it starts to open up. Southbound on the bypass slow through the zoo interchange all the way around the Hale interchange to about Forest Home. Yeah, that's about where it opens up. The westbound side is going to be slow through the Mitchell interchange all the way out to about 51st Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 40 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 53. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Milwaukee Common Council giving their seal of approval to Mayor Cavalier Johnson's $2 billion budget, the first budget in many years to boost services rather than focus on cuts. The budget calls for increases in police and fire department staffing, and an amendment taken up by the council today adds Sunday library hours, funds more street repairs, launches a preventive lead abatement program, and opens 2 more early voting locations. An analysis of Johnson's budget proposal by the nonpartisan Wisconsin Policy Forum found that tight budgets could reemerge as soon as 2025 when federal pandemic aid runs out.
Well, work continues to reestablish an early voting location in Milwaukee's Midtown area, and the answer might lie just down the street.
The current early voting site in the Midtown Center is likely to close due to difficulty negotiating a new lease with the building's Atlanta-based ownership group. Now, moving the voting center to a new site at a former bank just down Capitol Drive is being explored. In a statement, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson said the site is the best alternative to the current location. Milwaukee Elections Commission Executive Director Claire Woodall expects a lease to be prepared for Common Council approval by the end of the month. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The Elections Commission says in both the 2020 and 2022 general elections, about 30% of the absentee ballots cast in the city during early voting came from the Midtown site.
Milwaukee police have arrested a suspect in a fatal hit-and-run near 100th and Capitol Drive in Milwaukee yesterday. According to MPD, a 20-year-old man is now in custody. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office identifies the victim as 32-year-old Erin Mogensen and confirmed that she was about 8 weeks pregnant. The ME's office says the speed limit in the area of the crash was 35 miles an hour. The car that hit Mogensen's was driving 100 miles per hour.
Well, light at the end of the freeway on the zoo interchange construction.
Once this job is done, we'll have 4 lanes all the way up to Burleigh, and the congestion that everybody sees kind of coming out of the zoo, our hope is that it's all going to go away.
Sean Race with the Wisconsin Department of Transportation says commuters on 41 North should have smooth sailing when construction of the new traffic corridor is completed. Even with more lanes open, Race says drivers still need to watch out for barrels for a while.
We'll open up all the lanes coming this Monday, but we're still going to have barrels out there for a couple of weeks. Any project of this size, it just takes a while to get all the finishing touches wrapped up.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
Daylight saving time ends this weekend. We drop back an hour overnight, Saturday into Sunday.
Heart attacks spike, traffic accidents spike.
Dr. Jennifer Evans, professor at Marquette University, telling Wisconsin's Morning News, even gaining an hour of sleep, as we say, can still throw your body out of whack.
When you introduce a mismatch between your biological time and your social time, this has severe adverse consequences for our health.
Experts suggest most of us will adjust just fine after a few days. Vince Vitrano, WTMJ News.
Well, the Bucs are back on the home floor tonight against the New York Knicks. Our coverage gets underway at 6 o'clock. Badgers football team on the road at Indiana Saturday morning. And Packers head coach Matt LaFleur welcomes in brother Mike and the Rams Sunday for a noon kickoff at Lambeau. Packers have lost 4 straight games.
Citing unlimited WTMJ news time is 5:05.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports commentary on Wisconsin's afternoon news. Here's Greg Matzik.
After years of trying to sell the idea, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver is finally getting his wish. Turn on the Bucs game tonight, and you're going to see a floor that looks, well, different. Part floor, part swimming pool, kind of like a college football program that decides to go nuts and get away from the green field and instead use a blue one or a red one. That's right, the NBA's in-season tournament begins tonight. That's right, there's an in-season tournament in the NBA this season. The courts, the tournament, it's all part of the NBA's quest to make something out of the part of the season where people sort of get lulled to sleep, right? We've all tuned into that Tuesday game in February and yawned our way through to the end. Well, in December, you're going to have a mid-season tournament. You're going to have a cash prize for the winning team. And the NBA hopes you will have stars playing minutes with regularity on back-to-backs, singular games, Tuesday, Saturday, regardless of when the game is played. So tune in tonight, see all the different floors, and get an education on the NBA in-season tournament. It's here to stay.
Extra Points is sponsored by All Right Home and Remodeling. When you want it done right, call All Right.
I'm Randy from All Right Home and Remodeling. Did you know that ROI and exterior home improvements are some of the highest? Some sources say new vinyl siding nets 76% ROI and stone veneer is over 100%. Chances are you've seen your property value increase pretty significantly in the past few years. Want to increase it even more and improve curb appeal? Beautify your home's exterior. There's some great tax breaks to take advantage of too. Call us today to set up a free consultation or visit ALLRITE-remodeling.com.
At Semper Fi, we wholeheartedly believe that our reputation is everything. And around the office and work sites, I like to say that our reputation is like the little campfire we all huddle around for life. And every time we produce a project, we all have to take a little piece of that fire, and it's our responsibility to keep it going. Every time we keep a promise, it fuels the fire. Every time we deliver on an expectation, it fuels the fire. We started out as a mom-and-pop roofing shop, and the reputation we've built and our commitment to it has made us into the company we are today. I've found that people really value a company that truly cares about their reputation, and I know that it attracts the kind of like-minded individuals that we're proud to have on our team. At Semper Fi, we work hard not to tarnish our reputation, and that's what will make your decision to work with us one you won't regret. We're Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, and you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Well, changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
So I came to Advent because I was experiencing recurrent sinus infections. As a new mom, it was really kind of difficult.
Many of our patients complain of sinus infections. The headaches, fatigue, and nasal stuffiness have a profound effect on their lives.
I just felt like your sickness starts affecting your energy level and, the things that you really enjoy doing. That really was a breaking point for me.
So Molly came to Advent. Abnormally tight sinuses and swollen turbinates led to simple breathing triangle solutions that ended up taking about 20 minutes in office. And very soon thereafter, she was breathing freely.
I'm just in awe at the amount of air that that I'm able to breathe in and out each night, and I haven't had a sinus infection since the procedure.
I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. When you breathe well, you do live better.
Results may vary. Do the changing seasons have you dreaming of that perfect sun-kissed getaway? From the Caribbean and Mexico to Hawaii or Florida, Fox World Travel's expert travel advisors can recommend their favorite beach resorts with Delta Vacations or island-hopping cruises with Holland America and Celebrity Cruises. What are you waiting for? Don't miss out on the best savings of the season. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. There are memories to be made, and Fox has the expertise to get you there.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
All right. Glad you're with us. Greg Mansick is also here. Wyatt Barmore-Pulley is in the newsroom. Debbie Lozica's got your roads, and Sam Butson is producing the show this afternoon. Here's a topic on the table. We began this discussion with Dave Spano, the president and CEO of Annex Wealth Management, a few minutes ago. It's inheritance. It's what you hand down to your kids. It's your legacy. And this is in the news, and we're having the discussion because Marie Osmond and now other celebrities are sounding off on their views of inheritance. We want you to be part of the conversation. So we're going to take some phone calls and texts at 855-616-1620. Here's what we're talking about. Marie Osmond has recently doubled down on her refusal to leave an inheritance to her kids, saying self-worth can't be bought. She has 8 kids, and she's worth an estimated $20 million. And she says that leaving them a big inheritance would harm them. Quote, I just think you rob them of finding who they are, and self-worth can't be bought. That's my opinion. I believe that when I leave this life, I want my children to know that they can take care of themselves. I will not be leaving them an inheritance. Let's go to Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, 2 very popular and successful actors. Kutcher says he and his wife Mila Kunis have no plans of setting up a trust for their 2 children and plan on donating their earnings to charity. We will give everything to charity. We will give it all away. We're not setting up trusts for them. We'll end up giving money to charity and to various things that we care about. Ashton Kutcher said he would consider investing in his children's future business plans by leaving them a lump sum of money if they come to him with a business plan that he can invest in and have a stake in. But leaving them a lump sum of money or investments or real estate, he says, is off the table. I'm not into inheritance. Then there's Daniel Craig. He was one of the James Bond guys, right? He admits that he finds leaving an inheritance to children to be, quote, distasteful. And he plans on getting rid of it all or giving it away before he dies. Quote, I don't want to leave great sums to the next generation, including my children. Craig's fortune is worth $125 million, and the other side of the coin is Kelsey Grammer, the star of Frasier. Responding to these reports that I just shared with you, he said, I'm leaving it to my children. I worked hard so my children can have a better lot in life than I have. What is your view of inheritance? 855-616-1620. I think about my kids' inheritance on a regular basis. I have beautiful daughters who are 30. They have great jobs. One is a husband, the other a fiance that have really good jobs. They're making more money at their age than I would have ever dreamed about making at their age. They're successful. They're college educated. They have their act together. They both own homes. They're in a really, really good spot. But with all that said, I want to leave them something. I feel like that's my legacy. And it's not an and or. We're also going to leave money to charity and the things we care about. But I want my kids to be better. I want my grandchildren to be able to take cooler vacations. I want them to have things that I couldn't have. So to me, an inheritance, and I set it all up through Annex, is I'm working hard right now because I want my kids to have something, and that's important to me. I don't view it as they're going to be spoiled. They're adults. They're either spoiled or they're not spoiled. And I want my kids to have some of what I worked hard for.
They're also very grounded, right? Because you raised them the right way. Your daughters are wonderful. And you're great role models for what Emily and I are trying to do with our kids.
No, that's nice
right?
of you to say
We're
that.
trying to raise them the right way, understand the value of picking up your room, making your bed, all the little things that kind of become big things. You know what I mean? So here's the polar opposite example. Remember when Paris Hilton was being photographed all over the place? She was famous for just being famous, not for anything she really did, right? And the common discussion was like, what has she ever done?
Yep.
She's a pretty tall, blonde girl who's just kind of running afoul in Hollywood because she can, and she seems to get away with everything. So the tabloids, the gossip websites, like everybody picked up on it. She had a TV show, and it was all kind of a joke. At least it was to me. So her grandfather, Baron Hilton, before 2007 was set to leave his fortune to the family until Paris embarrassed him so much that he reversed course. So there's the opposite end of the spectrum, and I think the world that Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis live in is probably a little closer to where Paris lives than where we live in Menominee Falls, right? But I'm with you. I think you can set grounding examples for your kids so they're not just given everything, but the extreme opposite example of what Paris did to dissuade her grandfather's initial thought, she embarrassed the family, according to him.
Yeah, and she's out. So what do you think? 855-616-1620 is the Old National Bank talk and text line. What do you think? Inheritance, good to leave it to your kids? Terrible idea to leave it to your kids. Your phone calls and texts up next on WTMJ.
What time is it?
Do you have the time?
What time is it?
What time is it? Game time! It's Lillard. He got the shot off.
Damian Lillard is officially a Milwaukee Buck, and we can get used to this.
Lillard, long range three, and it's good! At the buzzer! Damian Lillard! Are you kidding me?
Listen to it all right here. We are the home of the Milwaukee Bucks, WTMJ.
Hey, John Mercure here for Guthrie and Fry. Craig from Guthrie and Fry was just at my house. What I love about Guthrie and Fry is they come to your house, they evaluate your water situation. They're going to tell you, hey, you're on city water, you really don't need a softener. Or, hey, you're on well water, you live out in lake country, and we can really help you. They provide the best solutions. It's friendly, convenient, budget-conscious water conditioning systems. They do water softeners, iron filters, well, pump and service repair. They do salt delivery. They do it all. And they do it from a family perspective. I also love that they've got in-house plumbers that can handle the tough questions without a callback. They're going to come out at Guthrie and Fry, and they're going to take care of you big time. It's convenient, it's easy, it's affordable. It's Guthrie and Fry. Rob and Sue know how to get it done. GuthrieFryWater.com.
The next time they ask you what size tires you need, just go to richlawns.com.
That's Richlawns spelled with 2 N's.
No more trying to read that tiny writing on the side of your old tires or on the inside of your car door.
Just go to richlawns.com, click on the year button, then the make and model of your vehicle, and
the exact tire size you need.
In a multitude of brands and styles.
Yet all specific to your vehicle, because at Richlawns, there isn't a tire on the planet we can't get.
And every tire we install automatically comes with free flat tire repair, which means you're 100% covered, no questions asked.
The next time you're due for tire service, visit richlawns.com.
Because free flat tire repair automatically comes with every tire we install.
I'm Brett Matchke with Richlawns. You're due for service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richlawns Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlawns.
Hi, John McGivern here. Did you know Network Health Medicare Advantage plans start at $0 a month? And you can get the extra benefits you need, like dental, vision, over-the-counter items, and more? I know because I'm a member myself. Call 833-7-NETWORK to learn more today. Network Health Medicare Advantage plans include PPO plans with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Network Health Medicare Advantage plans depends on contract renewal.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Loziga. Hey there, Deb.
Hey there, John. Yep, westbound 94, still a solid ride coming out of that Marquette interchange. Right about at 35th Street, the 2 right lanes are blocked. They're saying there's debris there. I'm not quite sure what the debris is, but that's why you're going to see those big delays. If you happen to know, please give us a call on the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329 and fill us in. Otherwise, eastbound 94 backing up out of the zoo all the way through the stadium. On southbound on 43 backing up from Bender Road all the way down past Locust. And the northbound side slow from Fond du Lac Avenue up and around the North Avenue curve up towards Keefe. Oh, and by the way, when you do call into the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line, let us know about that. Also, any other accidents, slowdowns, and things like that. And, of course, visit Hall Mazda during the Mazda's Season of Inspiration. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 42. Tomorrow, sunny, 51. On Sunday, sunny, 54. On Monday, chance for showers, a high of 63. And on Tuesday, mostly cloudy, a high of 53. We're talking about inheritance. Marie Osmond and other celebrities coming out this week saying they're leaving their kids nothing, that they say self-worth can't be bought, their kids should earn it on their own, and they are literally leaving nothing to their children. What are your thoughts on inheritance? Is that a good idea? Is that a good way to do things, or is it not a good way to do things? I'm going to say this right now. The text line is full of a lot of people that are saying leaving your kids an inheritance turns them into spoiled brats. Then they feel like they don't have to work. You know what that's all about? That means you're a really crappy parent. If you think that leaving your kids money is going to turn them into spoiled brats, lazy, people who don't work, that's on you. Because if you raise your kids with values, and you raise your kids in a way that they know the importance of a dollar and they know work ethic, then your kids don't turn out like that because leaving them money doesn't turn them into that. Most of our kids are going to be young adults when we die. It's not like you're leaving money to a 7-year-old who doesn't know what to do. If my damn kids are in their 30s or 40s or 50s when I die and I leave them something so that they can have a legacy, what I've already taught them is what they know. So shame on you if you think that leaving somebody money turns them into a spoiled brat. That's on your parenting.
Yeah, I think it's earned. I don't think it's a given that there's just going to be this wad of cash available. And inheritance is a very vague term, right? I mean, not everybody's got, the billions of dollars that the Hilton family has or the kind of money that the Kuchar family has, right? Inheritance could mean $5,000, could mean $15,000, might mean $1 million, who knows?
Right.
But it is earned, whatever money ends up going to your children. They have to earn it with their character, their development, right?
Yep.
To me, that's how I would look at it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Text us or call us. Let us know what you think. 855-616-1620. Let's start with Michelle, who's in Grafton. Michelle, good afternoon. You're on WTMJ.
Hi, John. First of all, I just want to say how much I love your show, even when it's minus Sandy Max, plus Brian Goddard, et cetera, et cetera. I always enjoy it. But the 2 points, the one that you made and the one that Greg just made, you stole a little of my thunder. Number one, if you raise smart children who do well and my kids are both in their 30s, one's an attorney and one's an architect, and they've both worked very hard to get where they're going and have never asked for anything. I would love to leave them something, but my idea is my mom worked very hard until she was 91. She sold real estate, and she died at 96, and she never used, very much. She died a wealthy woman, and she had 4 children, and we were all, I would say, very successful professional people that she had raised, and we knew the value of a dollar. But 2 things, just like you said, you and I aren't going to be leaving our children $120 million. And the amount that you distribute amongst your children, how I believe, if you've raised them properly, that they will continue to appreciate, and you have to trust that your parenting gives them that guidance, that they will use it, in an adult, respectful, mindful way.
Amen.
And I believe that about my children. But their father, who was a great man, my ex-husband, a great man, and would give them both his kidneys without blinking an eye, feels that he does not want to leave any money, that he has raised 2 good children, and that he wants to leave this earth with not a dime. And that is not a wrong opinion. Everybody's opinion is correct for how they feel.
Yeah.
So,
hey, Michelle, thank you. Very thoughtful. I appreciate you taking the time to call. Bill is in Racine. Bill, good afternoon. You're on WTMJ.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I'm not going to brag about my granddaughter. This is hard to say. As far as I'm concerned, she gets the whole thing. We got a farm. She went to UW River Falls, did the ags thing, horses, cattle, sheep. She did it all. She's earned it.
You sound awfully proud, Bill.
You're right. You took my breath away.
Hey, Bill, thank you so much. God bless you. Have a great weekend. That's what it's about. It's about continuing for your family the things that you want your family to be, right? Now let's go to Hayden. Hayden's in Manitowoc. Hi, Hayden. Good afternoon.
Hey, guys. Good. How are you doing?
Good. What do you think?
So it's a little bit of an interesting topic with my family because we recently sold the family business that I had worked at for 3 years. So it's a topic of discussion. It's a topic that I've thought about a lot. And I really agree with you guys. You know, Paris Hilton is a vastly different person than the Midwest hospitality that I grew up in. And I think, you know, growing up, my parents always taught us to be grateful for what we have. I'm just grateful that we can go out to dinner and, you know, they cover the bill. I'm incredibly grateful for that. So honestly, if they, you know, spend all their money going on trips and enjoying the rest of their life and I never receive a penny, I will be totally okay with that. But I also think, you know, they want to set us up for success and they've raised us in the right way that we will be incredibly grateful for a single dollar that we ever receive.
Hayden, thank you very much. Very well said. I appreciate that. I just think there's an and here. Our friend Steve Wexler, former big boss here, used to always use the word and. It doesn't have to be or. You can leave money to charity. You can leave money to your church. You can leave money to things that are important to you, and we will do that. But we're also going to leave money to our children so that they have it easier than we had it. They can do things earlier in life than we did it. And then I trust that because they're well off now and doing well, they will pass that along. And it's generational. And it's taking care of each other and taking care of the people that you love. It is 5:25 at WTMJ. Speaking of money, time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Stocks jumped to cap a winning week. It was good stuff. Good jobs report today. Good news from the Fed earlier in the week. And everything in the green once again. Let's go. More inheritance for everybody. The S&P 500 up 41 points today to close at 43.58. The Dow up 222 more points to close at 34,061, back over 34,000. The NASDAQ up 184. That's 1.33% today. 13,478 was the close, and the Russell 2000 up 47 points to close at 1760. It's time for your retirement and investment strategy. Take that review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button today. It is Annex Wealth Management. Sit means sit dog training. I know it's a real deal because I got 2 dogs that went through it, and they're better dogs. They listen better. They don't jump as much. They're not as barky. It's Sit means sit dog training. They are awesome there. Here's how we started. We went to the Menominee Falls location, and they've got multiple locations. Went there one evening. They met the dogs. The dog met the owner, Matt. It was a good fit, and we started going for classes. And I'll tell you what, they taught me things I hadn't thought about, and they gave me tools that I didn't know that I needed. It's Sit means sit dog training. You, too, can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. It's Sit means sit dog training.
You can give them the same old, or you can surprise them with something unique from St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Store at a bargain. Almost new, but really cool. The thing about thrift store gift shopping is that you never know what you'll find, but when you find it, you'll know it's right. That's what makes it fun. And if you just can't choose, gift cards are always available at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Welcome to our Everyday Health feature sponsored by the Froedtert and the Medical College Wisconsin Health Network. In the current day and age of technology, it's no longer necessary to always come to a clinic to see your doctor in person. Many physicians now offer virtual care, which allows you to get the care you need without leaving the comfort of a home. With us to help learn more about virtual care options is Dr. Brian Beaumont. Dr. Beaumont is a family medicine physician who practices with the Froedtert and the Medical College Wisconsin Health Network. First of all, Dr. Beaumont, thanks for being with us today. What exactly is a virtual visit?
Hi, Jeff. Thanks for having me. Yeah, a virtual visit is going to be a live, interactive video chat with a doctor. It takes place over an electronic device, usually a phone, tablet, computer, something that has a camera and a microphone. This can take place in your home or other location. It's available for both new and existing patients, but it's just a really nice, convenient, and secure way to be seen by a medical professional.
Doctor, are there different types of virtual visits that might be available for patients?
Yeah, with Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin, we have two types of virtual visits. First is kind of going to be the on-demand virtual visit, same-day access. Clinicians there assess common conditions such as sore throat, rash, ankle sprain. They're available daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. We also have scheduled virtual visits where you'll be meeting with your primary care or specialty care teams, and those kind of visits happen during regular clinic hours. And these visits are tied to your MyChart account, and this is to ensure that we have the most up-to-date medical information on you, like your medications and any recent health encounters. Both these can be conducted right through the Frederick and Medical College app as well.
How much does a virtual visit cost?
So there'll be two things here. The on-demand version has a flat fee of $49. The scheduled virtual visits are billed similar to an office visit.
Dr. Beaumont, it sounds like a great idea. I appreciate your time. Thanks for being with us today. To learn more about these virtual care options, visit freighter.com/virtual.
Traffic is sponsored by Smart Spaces. Adapt to the modern workplace. SmartSpacesWI.com.
How can Smart Spaces transform your business?
Creating technology, great culture, spaces that people really want to come to, attract talent, and keep that talent.
SmartSpacesWI.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley. Your top story: the budget process ends with a thumbs up.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. A new problem now on 41 southbound at Capitol Drive. An accident off on the right shoulder, so watch out for those delays. Westbound 94 still has this issue at 35th Street with the two right lanes blocked with debris, slowing right through the Marquette interchange. It's affecting your ride on the southbound side as well. We've also got backups on southbound 43 coming in from just south of Good Hope Road all the way down to about North Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight we're going to have mostly cloudy skies with a low of 40 degrees. Tomorrow partly cloudy, a high of 53. It's 52 degrees in Milwaukee at 5:31. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Milwaukee Common Council today giving their seal approval to Mayor Cavalier Johnson's proposed budget of nearly $2 billion for 2024. It's the first budget in many years to boost services rather than focusing on cuts. The budget calls for increases in police and fire department staffing in accordance with the Shared Revenue Bill Act 12 passed earlier this year. An amendment taken up by the council today is adding Sunday library hours, funding more street repairs, launching a preventative lead abatement loan program, and also opens 2 more early voting locations. One of those locations is being worked on right now as work continues to reestablish that early voting location in the Midtown area of Milwaukee. The answer to that might lie just down the street.
The current early voting site in the Midtown Center is likely to close due to difficulty negotiating a new lease with the building's Atlanta-based ownership group. Now, moving the voting center to a new site at a former bank just down Capitol Drive is being explored. In a statement, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson said the site is the best alternative to the current location. Milwaukee Elections Commission Executive Director Claire Woodall expects a lease to be prepared for Common Council approval by the end of the month. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee police have arrested a suspect in a fatal hit-and-run near 100th and Capitol Drive in Milwaukee that happened on Thursday morning. According to MPD, a 20-year-old man is now in custody. The medical examiner's office identified the victim this afternoon as 32-year-old Erin Marie Mogensen, confirming that she was around 7 to 8 weeks pregnant. The ME's office said the speed limit in the area of the crash was 35 miles an hour. The car that hit Mogensen's was estimated to be driving 100. Light at the end of the freeway on the Zoo Interchange construction project.
Once this job is done, we'll have 4 lanes all the way up to Burleigh, and the congestion that everybody sees kind of coming out of the zoo, our hope is that it's all going to go away.
Sean Race with the Wisconsin Department of Transportation says commuters on 41 North should have smooth sailing when construction of the new traffic corridor is completed. Even with more lanes open, Race says drivers still need to watch out for barrels for a while.
We'll open up all the lanes coming this Monday, but we're still going to have barrels out there for a couple of weeks. Any project of this size, it just takes a while to get all the finishing touches wrapped up.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
You might have tough luck bagging a big buck this year. The state DNR anticipates a lower harvest during gun deer hunting season, thanks in part to a lack of snow cover that makes it easier to track the animals. The DNR's Jeff Pritzel tells WISC-TV.
We had really great conditions in 2022. And although the tendency is always to kind of compare what we do this year to last year and then grade it as better or worse, I'd be surprised if we match last year's harvest numbers.
Last year, hunters bagged more than 203,000 deer. That's roughly 8% more than the state's 5-year average. This year's gun deer season begins on November 18th. Daylight saving time ends this weekend. We're going to drop back an hour overnight Saturday into Sunday.
Heart attacks spike, traffic accidents spike.
Dr. Jennifer Evans, professor at Marquette University, telling Wisconsin's Morning News, even gaining an hour of sleep, as we say, can still throw your body out of whack.
When you introduce a mismatch between your biological time and your social time, this has severe adverse consequences for our health.
Experts suggest most of us will adjust just fine after a few days. Vince Vitrano, WTMJ News.
And if you went to the Badgers football game last weekend, you couldn't miss it. A giant Bucky Badger, hundreds of feet in the air, all part of a unique drone show during halftime of the game.
It was put on by Sky Elements, based out of Texas. Pilot Casey Seelock calls it an intricate process.
All the software is up and running correctly. We build a full network. We make sure all the drones know where they're supposed to be.
Drone shows won't ever eliminate fireworks, but Seelock says the drone show business is booming because there are locations where it is a better alternative.
There may be fire bans or restrictions on fireworks in general. Just the noise for animals and folks with PTSD.
Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
And I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News time is 5:35.
This report is sponsored by Wisconsin Kitchen Mart. Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart.
In the past 70 years, there's something that has never changed. The kitchen. Oh, it may look a little different as the decades have passed, but it's always been where family gathers for meals, memories, and more. Wisconsin Kitchen Mart has always understood that and remains dedicated to making that important space special.
With an expansive 18,000 square foot showroom filled with full-size displays featuring Play-Doh custom cabinetry, award-winning designers, plus their own in-house installation department, let Wisconsin Kitchen Mart transform your kitchen into a true gathering place.
I'm Robert Iskey, Vice President and Designer from Wisconsin Kitchen Mart. We've been remodeling kitchens and baths since 1951 and can help establish a vision for your remodel. We bring the carpenters, plumbers, electricians, and everyone else needed to make your dream kitchen a reality.
Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart on the corner of West Wisconsin Avenue and 36th Street in Milwaukee. Online at wisconsinkitchenmart.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Do you hear that hissing sound? I think it's the sound of some steam being let out of the fall housing market. As the average 30-year fixed rate has crept toward 8%, some buyers have taken a break. Homes aren't selling on the first weekend anymore. Some are still selling over asking, but fewer and by not as much. Some sellers are even willing to chip in toward buyer closing costs to get their asking price. Now, do you hear that knocking sound? That's opportunity. Opportunity for well-prepared home shoppers. This dip in home buyer demand is not going to last, and mortgage rates are forecast to dip next year. Here's the best part. AccuNet can show you how to use a seller closing cost credit to lower your monthly payment by $100 or maybe even $200 a month for the first year or two while we wait for the refi window of opportunity to open, which we can typically accomplish with no loan costs. It's your choice, fear or opportunity. Click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com and become a confident, opportunistic, rock-solid home shopper. That's ACCUNET.com.
This is Brad Youngblood with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. There's a lot of fluff around window sales, but what really matters is the type of people you choose to have working for you. That's why I want to highlight Semper Fi's own CJ Callies. He's been selling, measuring, installing, and managing window installations for 35 plus years. He has a depth of knowledge that allows him to see problems before they happen, and I swear, I think the guy can see behind walls. He's easy to work with, and I can't think of a customer who hasn't liked working with him, and he really is the kind of guy you're going to want on your job. CJ's in charge of our entire window and door division, and you can be assured he's going to have his hands on your project. Most companies focus on the product. At Semper Fi, we focus on our people and you, and that's never let us down. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, call Semper Fi, because you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
Keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi. Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
Happy Friday. Glad you're spending part of it with us. Before we get out of here at 6 o'clock, Jason Wilde, ESPN Milwaukee's Jason Wilde talks Packers, and probably a little Halloween fun. Wilde will join us coming up here in just a couple of minutes. And then it's Bucks basketball here on WTMJ. Knicks are in town. Bucks-Knicks at 6 o'clock. But first, our good buddy, meteorologist Brian Niznansky, is with us. Niz!
Yeah, what's up? That's got to be a pretty somber talk with Wildy these times of year with the Packers.
Dude, it's tough, and we got a lot of weeks left. Every day at 4:15, we do Green and Gold Insiders talking Packers, and most years we're so spoiled around here that they're always relevant. This year's going to be a little rough, I think.
Yeah, I think by the end of the year we'll be talking about future plans. You know what I mean?
Like by next week.
What's in front of us?
Yeah, so my daughter has a soccer tournament this weekend, and it's in Racine, and she plays at 11:45 on Sunday. Like, ordinarily, that'd be a non-starter, like, oh, man, like, how are we going to do this and record the game or whatever?
Yeah.
No big deal. It's soccer first.
Right? I know.
Yeah.
Not worried about it. I'll catch up.
You might not even have to check your phone or put the stream on or anything. You know?
It was bad. I went on a Milwaukee Food and City tour last Sunday, and we went at 10:30, and I didn't get home till 1:30, and I was like, okay, well, not a big deal.
Be all right, yeah.
Packers
I mean, I'll still try to watch
Me
it,
too.
but yeah, if there's something that's going on, definitely not I need to be at the dinner, out to lunch with the phone propped up against the candle on the table or anything. But
hey, is the snow all melted?
I've never done that before.
Is it gone everywhere, Niz?
I had a couple up in the Grafton area where we got stocked pretty good. I had still some shaded spots before I left from work that still had a little bit. I was keeping an eye on it because I do really want to get out there this weekend and tackle some of this yard work, and I'd like it to be at least not snow covered. I can handle wet.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it sounds like you're going to get your chance. It's going to be a decent weekend, right?
Absolutely, and I mean that's why I really want to take advantage of it this weekend. This weekend looks good. I mean, tonight we do have a chance for a little light rainfall that from pretty much now up until about 8 o'clock, so maybe the beginning of some of these high school football games have some light rainfall. But then the rest of the weekend looks good. Partly cloudy, Saturday 53, Sunday partly cloudy, 56. There is a chance of light rain if you're heading up to Lambeau. Sunday afternoon, and then some of that light rain could work its way down here by Sunday night. But I think daytime hours will be dry. Monday, chance of rain in the morning, but partly cloudy and 63 in the afternoon. Tuesday, mostly sunny and 50 degrees. So pretty nice temperature-wise. One other thing, big change this weekend, of course, it's fall back with the clocks. That's 2 a.m. on Sunday. Officially, we rewind the clocks an hour. So we gain an hour of sleep. The most notable change with this for everybody is the sun sets then at 4:30 Sunday afternoon.
Hey, will you send me a text reminder at 2:30 in the morning?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll get you, yeah.
Thanks, pal.
I'll send him
Me too, will you?
I'm glad that yeah, exactly. It's good this does land on the weekend and we have a little bit less obligation, but I'm just hoping my kids play along with it too. The problem is
right.
Their clock is totally the sunrise and sunset, so I don't know if they'll be giving us an extra hour of sleep.
Hey, have a great weekend, Niz. We'll catch up next week.
Yep, you too, guys. Later.
5:42 at WTMJ. We've got Jason Wilde next and Bucks basketball at the top of the hour.
Congratulations to our very own Jeff Wagner, retiring after 25 years on WTMJ.
No show lasts forever. I'm going to be retiring from WTMJ at the end of this year.
But he's not done yet.
Congrats early on your retirement.
Well, I'm around for another 2 months. Can't get rid of me before December 15th.
Keep tuning in and don't miss out on our send-off to the one and only Jeff Wagner. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Happy Fish Fry Friday. John Mercure from WTMJ. I love the Mine Shaft's fish fry. And listen to this. The Mine Shaft has lowered the price on their Wednesday and Friday fish fry. The cod is all you can eat. It's $9.99. Now, the shrimp perch and poor man's lobster are all $9.99. And each one is all you can eat. It's yummy and it's affordable. Don't pay $16 to $20 for a fish fry. Just don't do it. It's $9.99 at the Mine Shaft. And desserts, I love the chocolate cake, are buy one, get one free every day. Your kids can safely play in that $5 million game room, quietly tucked away from the dining area while you finish up your dinner. The Mine Shaft is family friendly, and the Saturday prime rib dinner is under $25. The Sunday brunch, under $15. Great value. The super affordable Mine Shaft in downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh. Plenty of seating. Plenty of close parking, serving families like yours for over 46 years. Reserve your table for the all-you-can-eat fish fry today. Under $10, it's the Mine Shaft.
Build your well. I want to talk about annuities and variable life insurance policies. And I'm going to come right out and say that I've never been a fan of either. In fact, in over 30 years, I have rarely recommended annuities to clients. And in that same time, I've never recommended a variable life insurance policy. Now, it's always a matter of opinion, and there are two sides to every story. I just want to make sure that you've heard both sides for both options. So if you're looking at those types of products, give us a call, because it's prudent to hear all sides. At the very least, we can give you the pros and cons and help you make a good decision. I'm Jim Cantrell with Financial Strategies, Inc., a fee-only, comprehensive financial planning firm, and I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Men's wedding bands made from whiskey barrels and meteorites.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Traffic is sponsored by Harwood Place Senior Living. Learn more about Harwood Place Retirement Living's newly renovated apartments and updated pricing options. Visit harwoodplace.org or call to schedule a tour.
All right, traffic and weather on this Friday begins with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Hey there, John. Well, we had an earlier accident on southbound 41. We said it was at Capitol Drive. It's actually Hampton. This one has the right lane blocked, so it's got things backing up all the way back to about Appleton Avenue, so just be careful with that. Eastbound 94 going to be slow from the Zoo interchange all the way through the Stadium interchange to 35th Street. On the westbound side, we do have that accident or the incident with the debris. The two right lanes still blocked. At least that's what it's up on the board. And that's why we got these big delays back through the Marquette. 894 southbound slowing down from Oklahoma Avenue down and around the Hale interchange out past Forest Home, and southbound 43 a slow ride from Good Hope Road pretty much all the way down almost to North Avenue. Right now from Brown Deer Road into downtown, you're looking at a 24-minute ride. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
It's time for Green and Gold Insiders on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Hey, let's bring in our guy, Jason Wilde. Wilde and Tausch, 9 a.m. to noon, Monday through Friday on ESPN Milwaukee. Jason, how are you?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Good. So, Halloween here, we talked about this, right? No, you were with us on Monday. It snowed and it was miserable. And I had like 20 trick-or-treaters. We usually have over 100. How was Halloween up in Titletown?
It was great. I don't know how much longer the girls will be of trick-or-treating age, although, I'm always a proponent of these kids that don't even bother to put a costume on. They just grab a pillowcase and go out and collect free candy. So if they want to keep doing that, great. But I love being able to – we live on a cul-de-sac, so we try to get out a little bit more away from our house because there's only so many people in our little neighborhood. And I'll say this, we started right at 4 o'clock. They did not want to mess around. They wanted to get going. And we had the streets of Green Bay to ourselves for the first 20 to 30 minutes. We didn't encounter any other trick-or-treaters, so they did well. We stuck with it for 3 full hours, and I think Paula had 33 trick-or-treaters at our house.
Now, wait, did you say earlier that you're a proponent of kids not wearing a costume and coming with a pillowcase? No. They have to have a costume, and they have to be polite.
Well, I didn't say they don't have to be polite, John.
But, Jason, they have to have a costume? How are you in favor of that? You're a Law and Order rules kind of guy.
I'm going as a member of the disaffected youth that needs free candy. No, that's fair. That's fair, but I don't think my girls will do that. I think they love the costume too much. And, again, they're 13 and 12, so I can see the end coming, and it's so much. We really enjoy it. So I'm in no rush, and if they decide to go as it's just an unhappy high schooler, I hope they're at least happy.
Wilde, I don't know if you play this game in the Wilde household or if you played it growing up, but I am still trying to one-up my brother on anything possible to draw the attention of my parents, right? I want to be the favorite son. This is just kind of what happens in our household. My brother's 5 years older.
How's
that going? Okay, decent. I live closer. That helps. I have not, however, purchased my parents a home. And I don't know why I didn't know this, but Matt LaFleur apparently has for his parents. With brother Mike coming to town, it would appear to me that Matt is maybe a step ahead of brother Mike in the Favorite Son Award.
Yeah, so they moved down from Michigan. I think they live at Titletown somewhere. But yeah, he did that, and it's interesting because, first of all, these coaches, whether it's Matt LaFleur or Mike McCarthy, and you have kids, and look, I could never do it because I really enjoy. He didn't have time on Tuesday night. They were game planning. He wasn't taking his kids trick or treating. So good thing I have very little football acumen, so I don't have to worry about being hired to be one of the Packers' assistant coaches. But, it does kind of take a village when you've got an NFL coach in your family. And I know Mike McCarthy's parents moved from Pittsburgh to be closer to them. And so it's, I do think that that's probably part of it, is to kind of help out with the grandkids. But, yeah, they live right by Lambeau Field, which is very convenient. And, Matt LaFleur is doing a little bit better. That head coach money is a little bit better than offensive coordinator money. So I would expect him to be the one who's ponying up for the casa for his parents.
All right, let's stay on the coach beat. Talk Brewers coach. We've been talking a lot this afternoon about Craig Counsell. The scuttlebutt is that the Mets are going to make him an offer this weekend, and the Brewers will likely respond early next week. He makes, Jason, reportedly $3.5 million a year. He's likely to get double that, especially with the Mets in the ballgame. Should he be the highest paid coach in Major League Baseball? Is he worth $7 million?
I think he is, and I also think that all of us, right, are deserving of what the market bears for our services, right? And you guys do a great job on this show. You deserve to be paid appropriately, right? So I always love it when there's fans that, whether it's with a player or whoever, that they want that hometown discount for them, because I don't think we should have to do that. If you're at the top of your profession, and look, what he's done with a small market team, I think he's at that spot. What I'm curious about, because one of the things I love about Craig, and I have some mutual friends with him. I'm not friends with him personally, but I have some friends who grew up with him and love him. What I loved about him, or love because he hasn't left yet, it's like he grew up the same way as me. Like, I grew up on the south side, he grew up on the north side. But we went to Brewers games at County Stadium and cheered for Robin Yount and Paul Molitor. And when they weren't winning yet, I remember him doing a commercial where he basically talked, and it could have been me doing it. So the idea of him going off and managing the Mets, as opposed to, say, if he took a couple years off to watch his kids play college baseball, would have been much easier for me as a Brewers fan to handle. If he ends up going to the Mets because he'll have a better chance to win and get paid better, that'll make me sad. But he deserves to do with his life whatever is going to make him and his family happiest, and what will scratch the competitive itch that I'm sure he has. I'm sure he loves the idea of possibly managing a team with basically an unlimited payroll as opposed to what we have here.
All right, Jason, you spent a lot of time around the team this week after the trade deadline. What was the buzz? What was the feeling and mood in the locker room, in your estimation, after a veteran starter was traded away?
Yeah, no doubt disappointment, anger among veteran players. Now, whether or not that carried over to these young guys, I mean, you know this, Greg, they're kind of just happy to be here, just trying to figure out what the heck they're doing at this level. So I'm not sure it has the same type of impact as it might have on a more extensively veteran team. But Jair Alexander, Kenny Clark, Keyshawn Nixon, Devondre Campbell, those types of guys, Preston Smith, I'm sure that there's a level of disappointment there. And so, you know, once we get to game day, they can't be wallowing about that sort of stuff. But I don't think there's any question that mentally they need to lock in, because, you know, look, we don't know if Matthew Stafford's going to play or not. If he does, this is a team with Cooper Kupp and their young wide receiver that they're really excited about, Puka Nacua. I mean, the Packers defense is going to have their hands full from a pass defense standpoint, and they certainly aren't better without Rasul Douglas on their roster.
All right, Jason. Good to have you with us. Hope you have a great weekend, pal.
Can't wait to show up next year for Halloween and take in some of those 22 full-size candy bars that you gave out when I go as nobody but me.
You might get popcorn, too.
Yeah, you might. I hope you like popcorn. Microwave popcorn. Not,
all right, boys.
Not the popcorn ball. Microwave popcorn.
Well, it's a big difference.
Hey, Wildy, have a good weekend.
You too, guys. Thanks.
All right, we will. All right, hey, let's switch gears here, because the Bucks are here on WTMJ at 6 o'clock here. That's coming up. Complete Bucks coverage at 6 o'clock. What's your early assessment of the Bucks season so far? I was at the home opener. It was incredibly exciting.
Yeah.
And Lillard and Giannis were great, and now it's been kind of, as we would expect, bumpy.
Yeah, so just not to get too far into the weeds, but the Bucks through 4 games have the worst defense in the league.
Do they literally?
They do.
I didn't know that.
So I don't know. But
we kind of expected it was going to be bad.
Yeah, I mean, sort of lost in all the excitement with the Giannis extension and Damian Lillard being traded is the fact that you also have a new coach, and that probably takes a minute to get organized with his philosophies and what he wants to do on defense.
Is it clearly a different system and philosophy? Can you tell the difference?
So here's the one guy that I pay attention to when it comes to how this Bucks defense is different. The one guy I pay attention to is Brook Lopez because he's a 7-foot center, and in the last couple of years under Mike Budenholzer, he's been unbelievable on defense at protecting the rim, and that allows Giannis to sort of roam around and do whatever he needs to do. Now, Lopez is being used a little bit differently. He's not as close to the rim. Guys are getting it off easy shots in the paint. They're also hitting at a pretty good clip from 3, which is not a good combination. So they definitely have a lot to figure out. And quite frankly, Dame Lillard has been fun to watch, but he's only shooting about 30% from 3. He's got to pick that up.
Got to pick that up a little bit. So it's Bucks basketball here on WTMJ. Stretch continues for the Bucks. It's Bucks, Knicks on WTMJ and throughout the season.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll